Hello friends, we are Soul Fiction. Welcome to our channel. So in this video we will see what if Naruto became the host of Jade Dragoon. Also show us some love and subscribe and like this video. Thank you. Now let's begin the story. Why? What did I ever do to you? A boy cried out, tears and blood mingling over his whisker-marked cheeks. You killed my father and my brother, demon. Now you shall pay the price with your life. A random villager shouted. He stepped forward, with a makeshift club and began to bludgeon the boy to death. The boy screamed in agony and anguish as the heavy blows rained on his little body. Several of the ninja rushed to the scene, seeming to help the boy, only sadly to take the pleasure of causing the boy some pain to relieve their aggravation using their swords, broken bottles and knives. Help me, please somebody, anybody, the 6-year-old boy cried out in his mind. Suddenly a strong wind blew into the dark alley. The villagers and ninjas looked to see a man holding a spear in his left hand, dressed in a green shirt and brown baggy pants with a worn green bandana. What are you doing? He's just a little boy, the man said. This is none of your concern, Gaijin. A Chunin said to him. This demon will be destroyed and we will avenge our fallen comrades. The man looked curiously at the bloodstained boy and said, I don't see a demon, I see a little boy that is malnourished and treated unfairly for something that was out of his hands. Plus if he were, this place would not exist. A villager chose that time to make a mistake by attempting to silence the mistreated boy, but a sudden crack sounded and the mysterious man was found standing over the boy, his spear held out in front of him. You are the real demons hitting on defenseless children, he said calmly. The same Chunin scowled at him and made an effort to stab the man, but the stranger ducked and used the blunt end of the spear to hit him in the stomach. The ninja doubled up as the man twirled the spear and dealt him an uppercut with the spear, effectively knocking the ninja out. Enough! A voice boomed out. The villagers recognized the voice and looked in fear as the Hokage and a squadron of Anbu near the entrance. Anbu, arrest these villagers and tell Ibiki to use any method he wishes, the Hokage roared, shaking with anger. The villagers were dragged, whimpered and dreading the upcoming punishment in store for them. Sorry you had to see that, Albert. Sarutobi said, the villagers use every chance to try and kill him. I send Anbu, but they seem to overlook him. Albert looked at the unconscious boy. What is his name, old friend? Sarutobi replied, Naruto Uzumaki. Albert repeated his name, Naruto Uzumaki. I sense great potential in him and my spirit sensed that he would make a good partner, he thought, staring at him. He turned to Sarutobi, Hiruzen, do you mind if I take Naruto with me back to my home? I strongly believe the hostility around this boy will increase around him as he grows up. I will train him for 6 years and bring him back to Konoha. Sarutobi pondered for a moment and replied, why not? It might work for him. We will wait until he wakes up. Mindscape. Where am I? Naruto asked groggily. He looked around to find himself in a sewer. Great, they threw me in a sewer. A voice said, actually it is your depressing mind, Kit. Naruto jumped up and turned to see a cage with the kanji for seal. In the middle and inside the cage, stood a giant fox with red, slitted eyes. What the fuck? Naruto shouted. The fox said, I will not tolerate such language from such a young child. You are in the presence of the Kyuubi no Kitsune. Naruto said sadly, so this is why they hate me so much, then it is true, that I am a demon. Kyuubi scoffed, like hell you are. You may have a demon sealed in you, but you aren't a demon. Otherwise, this village, like that man said, would be decimated by now. Naruto looked at Kyuubi in surprise. Why are you being so kind? I thought demons are evil and hate humans. The fox replied, some demons are, but some also pity humans or rather be left alone. Me. Spending 6 years in here and watching you suffer alone kinda takes a toll on you. Naruto said, I see, then thank you, Kyuubi-chan. The fox winced slightly, how you know I'm female? Naruto grinned as he said, easy, women usually reacted to language more often than men. Kyuubi complimented, good observation skills, I never knew you were so smart. Naruto said, I prefer to avoid conflict by using the mask of the dead last and fawning over Sakura. I actually like that girl who keeps staring at me. Kyuubi said, wow, you even fool me with that mask and that is saying something. Anyway, it is time for you to awaken. Naruto said sheepishly, yeah, right, Hugh-chan, but how do I exactly get out of her? Kyuubi said, picture yourself in your happy place. Naruto nodded and said, right, but before I go, he closed his eyes and soon enough his mindscape shifted to have a grassy field with a mansion close by with the sun shining in the east. It's beautiful, Kyuubi whispered. Enjoy, Yane. The Jinchuriki said as he faded back to the real world. Arigato, Naruto-kun, the vixen said softly. Real-world Naruto woke up in the hospital and turned to see the mysterious man sitting in a nearby chair watching intensely. You're finally awake, Naruto-san. Allow me to introduce myself, I am Albert. The king said. Naruto sat up slowly, cracking his shoulder, thanks for saving me earlier, Albert Dono. Albert chuckled a bit, please. Albert-san will do just fine. Albert Dono makes me sound old. Anyways, to business, I asked your Hokage if you would like to come and train with me as my apprentice. Naruto's eyes lit up and he opened his mouth. Hokage's office. WWHHOHHHHHHHHO. The sound resounded, making the Hokage's pen slipped out of his hand and slipped ink over his Icha paradise. No, the Sandame said, crying anime style. Naruto's room. I gotta pack my stuff. Naruto cried out, jumping out of bed. Already taken care of, Albert said with a smile. Naruto beamed up at his newfound teacher. Let's go, Albert-sensei. He shouted as he ran out of the hospital. Albert thought, he is an energetic little boy, I gonna have my hands full. Near Hyuga Manor, Albert chased after Naruto to hear a scream. What was that? Naruto said, stopping. I don't know, but we are gonna find out now. Albert said seriously. They rushed over silently to see a masked adversary carrying a 5-year-old girl that Naruto instantly recognized. Hinata-chan. Naruto whispered hoarsely, she is in my class. We have to save her, Albert-sensei. Albert placed his hand on Naruto's shoulder and smiled, and then he stepped forward to meet the kidnapper. Excuse me, sir, but I am positive that the girl you are carrying isn't your daughter. She is too pretty to be yours, so I have to ask you to unhand her. The king said to the man. The kidnapper made a move, but Albert waited and sent a palm strike to the kidnapper's chest and caught Hinata as the man went flying back and slammed into a wall, unconscious. Naruto came over from his hiding place and ran toward Albert and the sleeping Hinata. It's okay. He used the sleeping potion on her, so she should wake up in 10 minutes. Albert said, making Naruto sigh in relief. Who are you? A voice called out to the two of them. Suddenly Albert and Naruto were surrounded by Hyuga with the leader approached them. My name is Albert, we happened to find the kidnapper trying to take this girl, so we decide to intervene. Albert said. The stoic Hyuga said, thank you, Albert-san. Hizashi, take the kidnapper to the Hokage. My name is Hiyashi Hyuga. Hizashi, the twin of Hiyashi, nodded and took the man to the Hokage. I will take Hinata back now. Naruto nodded and stepped away for Hiyashi to pick her up. What is your name, boy? The Hyuga lord asked. En Naruto Uzumaki, Hiyashi-sama. The boy replied softly. Hiyashi smirked. Well, thank you for helping rescue my daughter. W is a strong ninja, Naruto-san. Naruto stuttered. Hi. Hiyashi took Hinata away, carrying her bridal style while Albert and Naruto headed to the gates. Neither of the three noticed that Hinata was awake. She looked at the figure and thought, En Naruto-kun. Then she faded completely to the abyss of unconsciousness. Gate Naruto and Albert walked past the gate and began on their journey to Albert's kingdom of Basil. Okay, I need to change a bit to get to Basil faster. The man said. Naruto said quizzically, huh, why? A wind blew and swirled around Albert, causing Naruto to shield his eyes. When the wind died, Naruto looked in awe to see Albert in green armor and wings sprouting from his shoulder blades. Wow. Naruto managed to say. Albert grinned, if you think that is cool, wait till you see the others. Naruto clambered onto Albert's back and Albert took off into the air. As he flew across the sky, the Jade Dragoon host looked out of the corner of his eye to see Naruto with the biggest smile on his face. The man thought to himself, he reminds me of you, my friend, I'm sure you would have been proud to meet this boy, Lovitz. Then he felt a strong hand upon his shoulder, and turned to see his friend's spirit beside him smiling at him. 6 years later. State your business, the Chunin said to the two hooded figures. It is Albert, returning with a friend of mine. The gate was open and the two entered inside, heading toward the Hokage's office. Damn paperwork. I seriously need to find the secret to defeat this damn thing. Minato, when I see you, I am gonna kick your ass. The third lamented. Suddenly a knock came at his door and Sarutobi shouted, "Come in." The door revealed the two hooded figures and both of them removed their hoods to reveal Albert's and Naruto's faces. "Hey, Gigi-san, how is it going?" the boy said. Sarutobi asked, "Naruto, is that really you?" Naruto spread his arms and said, "In the flesh." The Jinchuriki was wearing black baggy pants, black combat boots, wore a green sleeveless muscle shirt and had a black coat with the kanji for Jade Dragon embroidered in a dark red color. He had a katana strapped to his back and held a retractable staff. "Have you mastered the skills I gave to you in the scrolls?" the Hokage asked curiously. "Hell yeah, I did. It was cake, old man," Naruto shouted. "Naruto, what did we discuss yesterday?" Albert said. "No yelling." Naruto said, "Sorry, sensei." Sarutobi laughed heartily at the boy. "Well, since me and Albert have much to discuss, why do you head over to the academy? They should be starting class now." Naruto nodded as Sarutobi handed him the pass and walked out. As soon as the blonde left, Sarutobi asked, "Does he know about the fox?" Albert nodded. "He is aware of it, in fact, she is rather friendly." Sarutobi quirked an eyebrow. "She?" Albert nodded again. "She was tricked into destroying Konoha and the person's name is." Meanwhile Naruto walked inside the academy building to find room 217 and opened the door. The teacher with the ponytail and a long scar running across the bridge of his nose. "May I help you?" the teacher said to Naruto. Naruto smirked. "I'm hurt, Iruka-sensei. You don't remember me, the #1 unpredictable soon-to-be ninja." Iruka peered into the hood and exclaimed, "Naruto, is that you?" Naruto flipped back his hood, causing some girls to blush. "How many Narutos do you know?" Iruka turned to the class. "Class, you all remember Naruto Uzumaki?" Naruto nodded and moved to find a seat until he saw a familiar face. "Hinata-chan." He thought, "It's been a long time since I last saw her." Naruto moved towards her only to be blocked by a feral-looking boy. "That's my seat," he said darkly. Naruto seemed unfazed. "Kiba, right? I would like to ask you to please move out of my way." He slipped him his retractable staff without him noticing. "Make me dead last," Kiba retorted. "As you wish," Naruto stated. He clicked a button and the staff lengthens to hit Kiba in the family jewels. The guys winced as Kiba knelt down, allowing the Jinchuriki to pass and take his seat beside Hinata. "Should have moved when you had the chance, Kiba," Naruto said as he propped up his feet upon the desk. Kiba lifted himself up and limped to sit by a blonde girl named Ino. "Okay, today's lesson is on the Kyuubi no Kitsune. Sakura, tell us the story, for Kami's sake. Stop gawking at Sasuke, damn it," Iruka said angrily. Sakura blushed as she spoke. The Kyuubi no Kitsune arrived on the night of October 10th and attacked Konohagakure. Many ninja died fighting by its 9 tails, which is rumored to topple mountains with a mere swish. Konohagakure was saved by the Yondaime, fought and killed the fox at the expense of his own life. Naruto thought sadly, if only it were true. Kyuubi replied, "Well, the toppling mountains crap is true though." Naruto said, "You're so full of yourself, Kasumi-chan." Kyuubi said, "Urusei?" Naruto snorted and cut off the link as the lesson went on. The boy noticed that Hinata was stealing glances at him and blushing a light pink. "She still likes me, sweet," Naruto thought happily. Kasumi said slyly, "Of course, you saved her life, and her virginity no less." Naruto blushed a bit at the implication, and struggled to pay attention to Iruka as he closed the lesson. "That is it for today. I look forward to see you all pass the Genin exam tomorrow," the scarred man said. Naruto turned to Hinata, who blushed at his staring. "Hey, Hinata, do you remember me?" Naruto asked. "Why yes, why you're the 1W who saved me that night," she stuttered. "She has confidence issues, but I will soon fix that." Naruto was about to say something until he felt a cold shiver run down his spine. He turned to find a horde of fangirls drooling after him. "Oh, he started to say until they rushed him. The girls pounced on him, but he quickly kawaramied with the closest possible object, which happened to be Kiba. Before they realized they had the wrong boy, There were pieces of ripped clothing and Kiba's howls and curses were drowned out by the girl's high-pitched squeals. The girls then ran off, leaving a scarred puppy and an entertained trickster. Note to self. Avoid fangirls at all costs, especially when flocked in groups. Naruto thought. Then he turned to Hinata. Hey, Hinata, would you honor me to escorting you home? Hinata thought, Naruto-kun is asking me to walk with him. She was so lost in her thoughts that when she was about to answer, Naruto was very close to her face. Are you okay, Hinata-chan? Your face is turning red. You have a fever? He asked her. Hinata chose this time to faint, but Naruto caught her and placed her on his back, walking out of the room to head to the Hyuga estate. Naruto-kun, Hinata murmured, snuggling up to his back, making Naruto blush due to certain mountains rubbing his back, and he could not bear to wonder what she was thinking about. Hyuga estate, goddamn. This place is bigger than the last time I saw it. Hinata-chan got it made here. She sure knows how to live the good life. As he walked inside the gate, 2 branch members rushed at him. Naruto tensed up, but Kasumi intervened. No, Naru-kun, let them do what they have to do. They're after Hinata, not you. The boy relaxed a bit as the guards took Hinata away from his back a little rough, causing her to awaken. She struggled against them, shouting, "Get off of me." Then a voice boomed out, "What's going on here?" Everyone turned to the direction of the voice to see Hiyashi walking toward them. Hiyashi-sama. To-san. Everyone said, bowing before the Lord. Hiyashi smiled at Naruto. Hello and welcome back, Naruto-san. I trust that your training went well. Naruto replied, a little brutal since I have 5 different senseis, but I will live. Anyway, I wanted to escort Hinata to make sure she gets home safely. Hiyashi nodded. Thanks, Naruto-san, and I apologize for the inconvenience. Naruto waved it dismissively. It's nothing. I understand, they were just doing their job and I respect that, so there is no need to apologize. He has gotten stronger and smarter in these 6 years. He thought to himself. Naruto turned back, waving. I bid you all adieu. Yane. Hinata-chan. Hiyashi-sama. Naruto flipped through hand signs and shunshined away. Then Hiyashi called out to Hinata, come, daughter, it is time for your training. Usually Hinata would automatically move, but this time she was in a daze. Hiyashi thought as he looked at the sky, young love, reminds me of what we used to have. Right, Hinotheim. Then he went to his daughter and gently pushed his daughter into the manor. Today's exam will be the Bunshin no Jutsu, Iruka said. The Chunin looked at Naruto, seeing that he had a confident smile on his face. Except you, Naruto. You will be tested differently, the Chunin continued. Sasuke-kun should have that test, not Naru, a fangirl shouted only to cower underneath Naruto's icy glare. Finally, the ultimate power I have been searching for all these years, the power to have fangirls shut the hell up. I must attain that power, a certain Uchiha thought to himself, glaring at Naruto. Naruto said, show me my opponent. Iruka smiled, your opponent will be Mizuki-sensei. Then a voice interrupted him. No, everyone gasped as they turned their heads to Sasuke. Naruto said, so the Uchiha finally speaks. But in his mind, he thought, holy shit, he actually talked. I thought he only broods and scowls at people all day. Iruka looked at Sasuke and said to him, I'm sorry, Sasuke-san, but, again, the Chunin was interrupted when Naruto spoke up. Iruka-sensei. I will accept Sasuke's challenge and fight Mizuki-sensei. Iruka said worriedly, are you sure, Naruto? The boy nodded. Sasuke looks like a guy who can't take no for an answer, and to be honest, I want to see his skill. Iruka said, okay. Then, class, file outside. The Chunin thought, I hope you know what you are doing, Naruto. Training Area 1. Naruto Uzumaki vs Sasuke Uchiha. Will the contestants please step forward and face each other? Iruka shouted, acting as proctor of the match. Sasuke donned on his ever-so-confident smirk and stated, you will not beat me, dead last, for I am an Uchiha. Naruto sighed, man, are you seriously going to wave that I am an Uchiha card all day? The dead last you knew 6 years ago has died, and I will show you the progress I have made. Waving your family name doesn't make you strong, but the fact that you do with it defines you. Iruka stated, the rules are only taijutsu and weapons. Shake hands now. Both contestants shook hands and stepped back, Their hands hovered dangerously over their respective weapons. Hajime! Iruka shouted, moving his hand in a chopping motion and leapt back. Sasuke flipped backwards, sending shurikens as Naruto skillfully dodged each one of them, with his eyes closed, causing Sasuke to scowl and recklessly charge at him, grasping kunai in both hands with a reverse grip. Naruto raised his eyebrow, took out his retraceable staff and blocked Sasuke's assault. "Your footing is wrong," Naruto said as he pushed against Sasuke. "Shut up!" the Uchiha gritted out as he felt himself being pushed back. Naruto gave him one final push, causing Sasuke to stumble and fall on his ass. "Tired already?" the Jinchuriki asked. "Geez, Sasuke-chan, in a battle you can be sitting around or the enemy will kill you." Sasuke growled as he leapt up and slashed at Naruto wildly, with the intention of backing him against the tree. "Shut the hell up. What the hell you know about battles? I am an elite while you are just a lowly commoner wiping the shit off my shoes." Naruto was about to retort until he felt his back bumped into something. "Shit, he deliberately steered me here. Clever bastard," he thought. Sasuke then launched kunai attached to wires to hold him to the tree and flipped through hand signs, shouting, "Kaden! Ryuka no Jutsu!" Iruka tried to run and save him, only for him to trip courtesy of Mizuki, but played it off as he helped Iruka up. The jutsu hit Naruto and the tree dead on, causing Hinata to shout, "Naruto-kun!" The fangirls were shocked at Sasuke's method, but shook the image from their heads, saying to themselves that the dobi deserved it. Sasuke smirked at the sight until Naruto's voice rang out, "Phew, I could have been burned to a crisp with that jutsu, only it was at its full potential." Everyone looked to see Naruto leaning against a nearby tree. Hinata cheered in her mind, "He's alive." The fangirls were shocked, but inside somewhat happy that he was alive except two fangirls. "You know who I am talking about." Naruto continued, "That was a good warm-up, but I am tired of playing around. You tried to kill me and broke the rules, which makes me win by default, but of course, like every arrogant Uchiha that was in existence, you play the Elite Uchiha card, so to satisfy you." Suddenly Naruto appeared in front of Sasuke and slammed his fist into Sasuke's gut, rendering him unconscious. "Sweet dreams," were the last words Sasuke heard as he faded into blackness. Naruto walked away from Sasuke having two of his favorite fangirls. Sakura Haruno and Ino Yamanaka glared at him as they rushed over their icon. The pink-haired harpy shouted at him, "Why didn't you just let him beat you, damn it?" Naruto said without looking at her, "Sakura Haruno, daughter of Soren Haruno and Kimiko Haruno, blood type. Oh, current president of the Sasuke fan club, top student in the class test-wise. Taijutsu nearly non-existent, Genjutsu non-existent, Ninjutsu only academy jutsu. Other alias forehead girl, Banshee, pink harpy, billboard. Am I correct?" Sakura nodded dumbly in shock that he knew things that should have been secrets. Naruto sighed and stated, "Sasuke, in theory, could beat me, but unless he discards his lust for power, hatred, and his attitude, he could never beat me or anyone, not even you if you actually stop stalking him and train for once." Sakura retorted, "I do train." Naruto raised his eyebrow and gave her an icy glare, causing Sakura to wilt and mumble, "Occasionally." Naruto continued his speech, "Like I said, all of you fangirls could become some of the greatest kunoichis in the world and yet you choose to waste your time on the Uchiha. There are other guys, you know, and if you wish to survive in this world we live in, then train hard and never give up," he said, his blue eyes flashing with determination. Most of the fangirls slowly nodded at his words with understanding and vowed to make themselves kunoichis. The boys silently thanked Naruto while a certain puppy scowled at him. "Well then, Iruka-sensei, how about my graduation exam now?" Naruto said cheerfully. "Weird, one point he's a sage, and the next, he is like a typical 12-year-old, he changes like the wind." Iruka thought to himself. The Chunin pushed that thought aside and nodded to Mizuki. The latter thought to himself, "Hey, I will be able to kill the demon now and not get punished for it. The village will be glad that he is gone." Kyuubi forewarned, "Be careful of this one, Naru-kun. He's leaking bloodlust and hatred, so he might aim to kill you." Naruto said, "Thanks, Q-chan, you shall be rewarded, immensely." The vixen growled, "You know, if this cage wasn't so damn restrictive, I would you now." Naruto chuckled, "Patience, my vixen, patience." Iruka shouted, Naruto Uzumaki vs Mizuki Fugawa. Hajime. Mizuki launched kunai and shuriken at the boy. Naruto decided against dodging to pick each shuriken and send them back to their owner. The projectiles hit Mizuki dead on, only for him to turn into a log. Shit, Kawarimi. Naruto muttered slightly as he readied himself for a surprise. Let's see, he thought, left, right, above, behind. Then he must be. Suddenly a hand shot out of the ground, grabbing Naruto. Mizuki spun like a top, sending the Jinchuriki into the air. Then the silver-haired Chunin smirked as he took out 2 Fuma shuriken. This is it, be gone, demon, Mizuki thought as he launched them at him. Aw shit, Naruto said as he looked to see the shurikens coming at him. Naruto quickly shurikens and launched it back at the other. When they collided with one another, one of them steered at Mizuki. The Chunin frowned and twisted to the side, avoiding the giant shuriken. Mizuki taunted, "Ha, you missed me, you little brat." Then he heard something go poof behind and turned to see Naruto's fist meet his face, sending headfirst into a nearby tree. Good thing I hanged myself into that shuriken or I would have been screwed knowing the conniving mind of his, Naruto thought. Suddenly clapping was heard from the clearing. The boy turned to see everyone except Sasuke, Ino, Sakura, and Kiba cheering and clapping at the fight. Naruto smiled and gave a bow. Then his eyes searched for Hinata, and when his eyes fell upon her, his eyes seemed to twinkle and Naruto gave her a wink in turn. The Hyuga blushed a deep red and Kiba bristled in anger. Congratulations, Naruto, you graduate, Iruka said smiling at him. Naruto beamed at his sensei and tackled Iruka with a hug. Thanks for believing in me, Iruka-sensei. Iruka hugged him back as he thought, I'm so proud of you. Of the treatment given by those damn civilians and Chunin, he was able to put that aside and prove them wrong by getting stronger. Iruka let go of Naruto and coughed slightly as everyone giggled at the moment. Naruto, you are dismissed, and you can pick up your custom headband after everyone has graduated. Naruto nodded and walked into the village while Iruka and the class went inside the academy building. Naruto thought to himself, let's see, I passed my exam. Albert Sensei is still talking to Gigi-san, so, time to paint the Hokage faces. As Naruto walked away, Mizuki glared at him as he watched the so-called demon run off in the distance. Damn it, I was hoping that he would lose. Oh, well, with the scroll soon in my possession, I will kill him, the evil sensei thought as he slipped into the darkness of the trees, and soon, I will be with my master. Soon Naruto was finished with the prank. He found himself washing them quickly under supervision of Albert. Now to recap what had happened to the faces, here is the visual. The first Hokage was made into a clown. The Nidaime had a bowl cut and an air bubble spewing things about flames of youth, causing 2 certain shinobi to knock out a whole entire squadron of Anbu due to their weird unbreakable genjutsu. The third had a big perverted smile on his face due to the drawing of Icha Paradise next to his face, making Sarutobi paled that Naruto knew his secret and the Yondaime had a massive nosebleed. After Albert was finished laughing his ass off, he sternly scolded his apprentice and ordered him to wash it off, after taking a couple of pictures to send back to Basil. Man, best prank ever, too bad it will probably be my last, Naruto thought as he wiped off the last drop of paint off of the Yondaime's face. Naruto, since this is my last day in Konoha, let's go to Ichiraku Ramen, my treat, the king said with a smile. Naruto looked at his sensei and said, thanks, I appreciate that. Plus you have a kingdom to rule and I have a dream to attain. Just make sure to come and visit me once in a while. Albert said softly, you have grown a lot, Naruto, your maturity and wisdom is beyond your age and that is why I have chosen this time to give you my gifts. Hold out your hand, my apprentice. Naruto did as he was instructed to and Albert handed him 5 colored stones. Then he took his necklace which held his green stone and put it over Naruto's neck. Naruto looked at his hand as the stones disappeared into his hand, leaving a circular mark of the colors in a pentagon shape. Sensei, what is this? Naruto asked curiously. Remember that time, I changed into that form. Those stones are the key to changing into them. The Dragoon spirits will only awaken if they feel their host nearby, Albert said. Naruto bowed slightly, thank you for bestowing me with this honor, Sensei. Albert stated, Basil has no need for the spirits since an era of peace has washed over our land, But I fear that your village will be thrusted into chaos soon, and so the spirits must rise again to protect the helpless once more. Naruto nodded. All right, I will find the hosts and I promise on my Nindo. Albert smiled. I'm gonna miss you and that upbeat attitude of yours, Naruto. Now let's go to that stand now, huh? Ichiraku Ramen. Hello. What can I get you two strangers? Ayame said with a smile. Naruto pouted. You don't remember me at all. Ayame-ne-chan? She peered closer at him and gasped out. Naruto-kun, is that you, Naruto-kun? Naruto nodded and suddenly Ayame pounced, glomping on our unpredictable ninja. Oh, you have gotten so cute, Naruto-kun. How have you been? Ayame said, swinging him around. Ayame-chan. I think you want to let Naruto breathe now. Albert said meekly. Ayame let go of Naruto and stepped back. Wow, look at all the swirly ramen. Naruto said with swirls in his eyes. Ayame, what's the hold up? Why are you, Naruto? Is that you? Tucci asked. Naruto soon got out of his dazed expression and answered the cook. Yep, Gigi-san, it's me. Tucci smiled. Well, how is my favorite customer and who is your friend? Albert bowed and said, I'm Albert, Naruto's teacher and friend. I'm very pleased to meet the few who respects my apprentice. Tucci said, I'm Tucci and this is my daughter, Ayame. Whatever you guys ordered for today is on the house. The pair sat down and placed their orders while telling them their stories of the adventures over the past 6 years. After finishing their meal, Albert and Naruto parted ways. Albert gave Naruto one last goodbye and went through the gates. Naruto smiled softly as a lone tear rolled down his cheek. I will see you around, sensei. Naruto turned back, reminiscing on the events concerning with the stones. Then he noticed that it was quiet. It's too quiet, something is wrong. Naruto saw Iruka rushing towards the forest. I follow Iruka-sensei. He might lead me to the problem. Iruka. Why, Mizuki? Why did you steal the forbidden scroll? The teacher shouted, tied to a tree with wire. Mizuki sneered at him, ain't it obvious, Iruka? I did it for power. I will not be weak as you, Iruka. Yes, with this scroll, I will be as powerful as the Hokage himself. Bullshit. A familiar voice said. Mizuki turned to see Naruto's fist meet his face for the second time today. True power doesn't come from scrolls, jutsu, or teachers. It comes from the strength of the people you care about. Naruto took the open scroll and scanned a jutsu that interested him. This might be useful along with the Kage Bunshin from the scroll that Hokage Gigi-san gave me. He thought. Mizuki pulled out of the ground, shouting, You little brat, I will kill you. Naruto simply took out his retraceable staff and tripped Mizuki as he step-sided him. Mizuki growled as he took out a Fuma shuriken off of his back and threw it. Naruto saw it and realized that it wasn't aimed at him, but Iruka. That son of a bitch. At this rate, I won't reach Iruka-sensei. I need to reach Iruka-sensei now. Naruto thought desperately as the shuriken moved closer and closer to the pinned Chunin. Suddenly the green stone flashed and covered Naruto in a warm light, causing a cloud of smoke and dirt surround Iruka and Naruto. When it cleared, Mizuki was shocked to see Naruto in green armor and his staff seemed to change. Picture Albert's form except the staff's color is black. But the most shocking of all is that the shuriken was embedded in his chest and wings came out of his shoulder blades. What, are you? Mizuki asked fearfully. Naruto pulled out the shuriken and met the Chunin's black eyes with his blue-green slitted eyes. I'm Naruto Uzumaki, the next Hokage and wielder of the Jade Dragoon. Take this, Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. 1,000 clones appeared, surrounding Mizuki, sending him further into shock. Now this is for all the people you have hurt. Rose Hurricane Dance. The clones shouted. Mizuki's girly screams were heard as the clones brought on the pain. A few moments it a little. Naruto said quietly. He turned to Iruka and released him from his bonds. Are you okay, Iruka-sensei? The Jinchuriki asked worriedly. Iruka nodded, and then Naruto tied up Mizuki's battered and bruised body to the tree. Iruka asked, Naruto, what was that transformation you did? Naruto answered, fingering the green stone, it seems that the Jade Dragoon spirit has chosen me as its next host and I can call on it when I'm in a pinch now since you have helped me awaken it. Your situation put enough stress on me to awaken the spirit within me. Iruka smiled, glad I could help. Now let's return that scroll to its rightful place. Naruto nodded. Yeah. Then he thought to himself, but those jutsu will come in handy. Good thing I had a clone copy all of them into a spare. Next day, Iruka walked in with a cast on his arm and a gauze patch on his cheek. Okay. Settle down, kids. The students ignored him and continued talking to one another. Damn, he thought, and I can't use my big head jutsu. Naruto noticed the Chunin's predicament and sent out waves of killing intent in order to make the students accept Shikamaru, Choji, Hinata, and Shino. Sit down, and shut up. Sakura, Ino, you have 3 seconds to find a seat, Ichi. The girls scrambled to find a seat before Naruto got to knee. The floor is yours, Iruka-sensei. Iruka said, thank you, Naruto. Now about your teams. Sakura decided to interrupt him. First off, what happened to you, Iruka-sensei, and where is Mizuki-sensei? Iruka grimaced. Mizuki is indisposed of for turning rouge. Luckily, me and a friend of mine happened to catch him along with the item that he stole. Sakura asked, who was this friend of yours? I bet it was Sasuke-kun. He is the only one capable of such a feat. The fangirls nodded in agreement with Sakura's statement, but Iruka shook his head. If that would have happened, Sasuke wouldn't be here today. The one who helped me was the number 1, unpredictable ninja Naruto Uzumaki. Everyone gaped and turned to Naruto to see that he was not listening to Iruka's revelation. He had his feet propped up on the desk while chatting with Hinata. Soon the Jinchuriki noticed the stares given from his classmates. What, is there something on my face? Naruto asked curiously. You defeated Mizuki-sensei? A random boy asked in disbelief. Ain't it obvious? I beat him yesterday in class, so what made you think that I couldn't beat him? Plus I did beat Uchiha in the spar before him. A Sasuke fangirl spoke up. That is impossible. Naruto said, nothing is impossible when it comes to ninja. It's no big deal since most of you can't believe that the Dobi defeated an experienced Chunin schoolteacher. Not to be rude, Iruka-sensei, but can you tell us our teams please? Hinata-chan, we will discuss our conservation later, okay? Hinata blushed and nodded, getting some mixed glares from his growing fan club. Grr, Hinata is mine, you bastard. I will get her and make her my bitch whether you like it or not, Kiba thought. I can't believe it. The Dobi goes away to train for 6 years and suddenly he returns with more power than me, the Uchiha. I should have that power, I need it more than he does. Sasuke thought with a scowl. Sakura thought dreamily, oh, Sasuke-kun, I will get you in my arms one of these days. Iruka said, Team 1 through 6 are in circulation, Team 7 will consist of Naruto Uzumaki, Sasuke Uchiha. Naruto muttered, oh, fuck me. And Sakura Haruno. Naruto thought, oh, fuck me sideways. I'm stuck with a fangirl with no skills and an emo brooder who probably likes to suck dick. Kami, why do you hate so? Iruka continued, Team 8 will consist of Hinata Hyuga, Shino Aburame and Kiba Inuzuka. Hinata thought in despair, no, I want to be with Naruto-kun. Shino is okay, but Kiba is gonna to make my life miserable. She looked in the corner of her eye to see that Kiba was looking at her with lust evident in his eyes. Team 9 is still in circulation. Team 10 consists of Ino Yamanaka, Shikamaru Nara and Choji Akamichi. Ino ranted about not being with Sasuke openly while she was secretly disappointed on not being on Naruto's and paired with Lazy Boy and Food Boy. Your sensei will arrive shortly. Naruto, in turn, resumed his conversation with Hinata. So Hinata, I bet you have gotten stronger since the last time I saw you. Hinata blushed at the blonde's serious gaze at her. Why? Yeah. And Naruto-kun. I have gotten a little bit stronger, she said quietly. Naruto smiled at her, causing Kiba to frown and growl a bit. The Jinchuriki sensed the weak killing intent and spoke to Kiba without facing him. Why so serious, Kiba? Kiba said, Hinata is not yours, Teme. Naruto said, I agree. Hinata is not mine nor she is yours. Hinata must make that decision on her own terms. You, me or anyone else can't decide her future. The Inuzuka bristled in anger, but gave him a toothy grin. Doesn't matter now anyway. Hinata is on my team and she will be mine. Naruto ignored him and began to talk to Hinata again, making Kiba to jump at his unprotected back. Very big mistake, Kiba. See if you attack somebody's crush like Sasuke for example, you are bound to get your ass pummeled. In Hinata's case, you get pummeled with some juken mixed in. Hinata's eyes widened as Kiba moved towards Naruto. Then she narrowed her eyes and moved instantly to juken Kiba in the balls. Next time you attack Naruto-kun like that, you will lose the ability to have kids, capiche? She said in a cold tone. Kiba nodded slowly, holding his precious. Good, now please remove yourself, she said as she turned to her seat. Kiba moved slowly to her seat, wincing slightly at each step from the pain. Hinata looked at everyone, especially the Uchiha, who has a look of admiration and lust in his eyes. What are you looking at? Hinata said with a tick on her forehead. Everyone's heads snapped back to the front, not meeting the gaze of the seemingly shy Hyuga. Letting out a breath, she turned to a smirking Naruto. Wow, so the shy and stuttering was all an act, right? He said. The Hyuga said, yes, but not as good as your dead last act. Naruto's eyes widened and in turn, Hinata chose to smirk at this expression. Touché, Hinata-chan, touché. The Jinchuriki said with a smile, anyway, when we are done with our team meetings, how about we go to Ichiraku Ramen to eat? Hinata giggled. My, Naruto Uzumaki, are you asking me to go on a date with you? Naruto flashed her his trademark foxy grin. Anything you want to call it, Haim. He then took her hand and gingerly kissed it. I accept your invitation, Naruto-kun. The Hyuga princess said, blushing up a storm. Damn it, I still blush around him, she thought to herself. Naruto said, thanks for giving me a chance, Hinata-chan. Hinata answered back, no problem, Naruto-kun. Then she whispered lowly, I would have done it otherwise since you were the one that saved me that day. Team 8, come with me. A feminine voice called out. The class turned to see a woman with red eyes and beautiful black hair along with a dark-skinned man with a cigarette in his mouth. Kurenai Ne-chan is my sense. This is good fortune for me then, she can keep Kiba in check. The Hyuga thought happily. Kiba thought, damn, I got a chick for a sensei. Well then, bye, Naruto-kun. Hinata said as she strode forward to her sensei. Naruto waved at her. Bye, Hinata-chan. I will see you at Ichiraku Ramen. As soon as Team 8 and 10 left, Naruto quickly made a genjutsu and worked on setting traps for their unfortunate tardy sensei. 2 hours later, Sakura screamed, damn it, where the hell is our sensei at? Naruto and Sasuke winced at the screech from our pink-haired harpy. Oh, Sasuke, are your eyes ringing or is it just me? Naruto asked while rubbing his ears. It ain't you, Dobi, my ears are ringing too. The Uchiha muttered. It appears that the only thing that the two could agree on was that Sakura needed to shut up. Suddenly the door opened to reveal a tall, silver-haired man with his hite slanted over his left eye. Started to say, but until Naruto released his illusion and tugged at a wire. The wire released kunai and the Jonin moved skillfully through the barrage. Then Naruto pulled another wire activating the paint balloons making the Jonin a neon-colored portrait. Yep, still got it. Naruto thought to himself. Kyuubi thought, nice one, Naruto-kun. The Jonin said, my first impression is that I hate you all. Naruto retorted, and my first impression is that you are too caught up in the past. The man's lone eye widened, but then he regained his composure. Meet me on the roof in 5. He said as he leaf-shunshined. Naruto opened the window and briefly dropped down. Sasuke and Sakura ran to the window only to be blasted by a gust of wind as a silhouette of a dragon and man hybrid flew into the sun. Was that Naruto? They both thought as they rushed up the stairs. Roof Naruto switched back to his human form on the roof to see 10 men sitting on the balcony reading a certain orange book. Pervert alert. I'll kill him for reading those damn smut books they call a hit. Kyuubi screamed. Q-chan, calm down. You are giving me a headache with your incessant screaming and I already have to deal with one on my own team. Naruto yelled at the vixen. Kyuubi receded into the back of his mind muttering about perverts, books, and how they should be destroyed. Well, you're here early, Naruto said in a sarcastic tone. Well, I figured that another trap like the previous would be waiting for me if I was late. The man said, how have you been, Naruto? Naruto shrugged, I have been fine, Kakashi-san. It's been a while since we last met. Where does the time go? Kakashi eyes smiled at the boy, apparently fast. We will continue this late, they're coming. Naruto nodded. Sasuke and Sakura came up the stairs and the Uchiha asked, panting, "What the hell was that power, Dobi?" Naruto said, Did you say something?" Kakashi stifled a laugh as the blonde used his phrase for dealing with a certain green spandex-wearing man. "That winged hybrid thing, whatever it is, give it to me," Sasuke said angrily while Sakura nodded in agreement. Naruto said, "Sorry, that transformation is only unique to me and people who are chosen. Besides knowing you, you were going to use it on Itachi, your older brother." Suddenly Sasuke's eyes narrowed as he grabbed Naruto's collar. "You know about Itachi?" Naruto shrugged. "Yeah, he is very good at genjutsu and kenjutsu. He taught me some moves as well some jutsu while we were traveling along with my other sensei." Sasuke's grip tightened. "Tell me where he is," Naruto said. "Unfortunately, I don't know that information since he left without notice. Even if I knew, I would not tell you because I highly doubt that a mere fresh genin can defeat a former Anbu captain with a developed Sharingan." Sasuke said, "That is why you need to give me that power you have, so I can kill Itachi." Naruto said, "You have not been listened to me, have you? That transformation is a part of me, thus I can't give you it at all. Even if I could, Itachi would toy with your life like a living puppet, making you realize that anytime he could just come and kill you in an instant." Sasuke bristled in anger as Naruto continued, "You want power, then find something to protect and you will have that power to defeat Itachi. That is the true meaning of power." Sasuke dropped Naruto and said, "Everyone that I wanted to protect is gone. That is why hatred is the only way to my strength." Kakashi said, "Well, then now that is settled, tell me about your likes, dislikes, hobbies, that sort of stuff." Sakura said, "How about you start us off, sensei?" Kakashi smiled. "Okay. My name is Kakashi Hitaki, my likes are classified, my dislikes are nothing you could understand, my hobbies are a need-to-know basis and my dream is none of your concern." Sakura and Sasuke's sweat dropped. All we got is his name, they thought. "Go, Pinky," Kakashi said, pointing at Sakura. "My name is Sakura Haruno, my likes are squeal, my hobbies are insert squeal and glance at Sasuke. My dream is loud squeal. My dislikes are Naruto Baka and Ino Pig." Kakashi sighed in his mind. A true fangirl. Damn, I might have to break Enko in. He nodded to Sasuke, who was glaring at Naruto. "Name's Sasuke Uchiha. My likes are soba, tea and training. My dislikes are a lot and my dream is to kill Itachi." Kakashi thought, still that damn Avenger. Naruto said, "I'm Naruto Uzumaki. My likes are my father, my mother, my 5 senseis, ramen, training, Hinata-chan and a few people in this village. My dislikes are ignorance, titles, rapists, murderers, and I strongly despise fangirls who wants to be kunoichi because of a stupid crush." His eyes flickered toward a fuming Sakura. "My dream is to protect the ones in need and those I care and maybe become Hokage if I have to." Kakashi nodded in recognition. "All right, now that we are acquainted with one another, you are dismissed for today. Get some rest and don't eat breakfast or you will throw up tomorrow because you 3 will be taking the True Genin test, which has a 66.6% failure rate, ya nay." The cyclopedic ninja made a hand sign and left in a leaf-style shunshin. "Peace," Naruto said as he disappeared into the wind, leaving Sasuke to brood and Sakura to ask for a date, again. "Ichiraku ramen. Hey, Hinata, you're here early," Naruto said as he popped up on the seat beside her. Hinata jumped and aimed a strike at Naruto's head, who dodged by leaning to the side. "Naruto-kun, don't do that, you scared me to death." Naruto rubbed his head. "Ah gomen nasai, Hinata-chan, I didn't mean to scare you." Hinata inwardly sighed at the innocent look that she solely desired to kiss. "It's okay, just try not to do it again," she said, scolding lightly. "Hi, I promise," Naruto said as he shifted into his seat. "Ayame ne-chan, I would like a beef ramen and teriyaki ramen with vegetables please." "Hinata-chan, what do you want?" Hinata said, "I would like a miso ramen." Ayame nodded and she and her set to work, happy that their #1 customer had a friend. "So how was your meeting with your sensei?" Hinata sighed. "Well." Flashback Team 8 came to their designated training area with Shino looking indifferent, Hinata looking agitated and Kiba looking like he was in heat. Kurenai sat down on a log and said, "My name is Kurenai Yuhi, your sensei." She smiled at them. Hinata smiled back at her. Shino's face was like stone, but his body language told her that he was glad to meet her, and Kiba was stunned, eyeing at her body, which she inwardly despised, and planned to have his sister and her friend, Hana, to knock that out of him. We will start off with our introductions such as likes, dislikes, hobbies, etc. She continued, my likes are Genjutsu, Yugo-chan, Anko-chan, and Hana-chan. Kiba sweated inwardly at this, and sunsets. My dislikes are perverts, arrogants, rapists, and people who think kunoichi are weak, though some are proving that. My dream is to live my life and maybe settle down, next. Kiba shouted, I'm Kiba Inuzuka. My likes are dogs, Akamaru, Hinata, training. My dislikes are Hana, the vet, people who hurt dogs, and Naruto. Hinata's eye twitch a bit. My dream is to be strong, marry Hinata, and become head of the Inuzuka clan. Kurenai took a mental note at both of Kiba and Hinata's reactions at Naruto. Next, the red-eyed woman said, I'm Shino Aburame. My likes are bugs, Hinata-san, Shikamaru-san, and Choji-san. My dislikes are pesticides, lecherous men, and perverts. My hobbies are collecting bugs. My dream is to just become the leader of the Aburame clan. Typical of the Aburame clan, but at least this one socializes. Kurenai thought to herself as she nodded to Hinata. My name's Hinata Hyuga. My likes are Naruto, Kiba growls lowly, cinnamon buns, training, medicine, and falcons. My dislikes are rapists, arrogance, the council's attitude, the caged bird seal, and Kiba. My dream is to eliminate the caged bird seal, be the greatest heir to the Hyuga clan, and be Naruto's girlfriend. Kurenai looked at her, adding her career and social life. I have known about all these things, but she has never said them out loud before. Was it all a facade? A mask? Kurenai set aside the thought and replied, okay, now we know each other a little bit. We will meet tomorrow at 8 in the morning, for your real genin exam. Hinata and Shino looked impassive while Kiba shouted out, I thought we already took the test at the academy. Kurenai replied curtly, that test was a preliminary. You didn't think it was going to be that easy, did you? Again, 8 a.m. tomorrow at this spot, all right? Kurenai made a hand sign and shunshined away with a puff of smoke. Hinata immediately stood up and moved away. Kiba tried to follow her, only for her to shunshin in the leaf style. Flashback ends. Man, I wish I could have seen that. Imagine the look on Dogboy's face. Naruto laughed. Hinata giggled, true. But we need to figure out why they both told us about the test and the fact that we can't eat. Naruto's face changed from cheerful to serious, thinking, well, I deduced it to a skills test or written test, but the fact of no eating makes it a skills test. Hinata pointed out, but we can't take on a jonin by ourselves alone unless, Naruto finished, unless we work together, that's it. The test is about teamwork. Hinata sighed, teamwork, Well, she knows no problem at all since we are friends, but Kiba is going to be a pain in the ass since he will bribe me to be his girlfriend. Naruto retorted, try having a pompous Uchiha bastard and a fangirl with no talent to save her life. Hinata waved the situation away, we can worry about those problems later, Naruto-kun. We need to catch up, she said softly. The Jinchuriki nodded and the two began to exchange stories and events from the past 6 years. Hyuga Manor. That was nice, Naruto-kun. I enjoyed that very much, Hinata said. Naruto smiled at her. I am glad you did, Hinata-chan. When we have free time, we should. Suddenly a voice boomed out, Hinata. The two genin turned to find no other than the Hyuga Council. Councilman Hanzo. Hinata spat out with venom laced in her voice. Hanzo sneered, you will address in the proper tone, Hinata, and furthermore, what are you doing with this thing here? Naruto winced at the remark while Hinata gritted her teeth, since when does the council become concerned about who I associated with? Hanzo said, you dare to defy the council, you stupid excuse of a, the council member started to say until he felt a spike of killing intent aimed at him. He shifted his eyes to see Naruto's cold blue eyes upon him. Look, asshole, I will take your insults, but insulting Hinata-chan directly in front of me is something I or Hiyashi-sama will not tolerate. Hanzo began to sweat as Naruto's killing intent increased as the Jinchuriki gritted out every word. So, Hanzo, you will treat Hinata-chan as if she was Kami herself because the Hinata you knew is dead and gone. Hanzo and the other council members shrank back as they each saw their end at the claws of a fox and a green-scaled dragon. Hi. The man said shakily. Good, now have a nice day. Naruto said, smiling. He turned to Hinata. See you tomorrow, Hinata-chan. The Hyuga nodded and walked inside the gates along with the mentally scarred Hyuga council. It seems that some of the council is shaken by Naruto. Good, but just in case I will need to plan if they try something. Hinata thought as she began to strategize alternative path to deal with this matter. Next day, training area 7. What the hell, where is that sensei of ours, damn it? Sakura shouted. Naruto's eyebrow twitched. Sakura, for the last time, please, shut up, he said, mustering up the last shred of patience he had in him. Sakura turned and threw her fist at him, but Naruto moved slightly, making the girl fall into the lake behind him. Sakura became irate and shouted, look at what you did, do you know how long it takes to get my hair done like this? Naruto responded, about 40 strokes to be exact in about 16 minutes, it takes you, Sakura. Sakura was about to retort until Kakashi popped up. Yo. Sorry about that. An old lady was crossing the street, so I had to help her cross. You're late. That is the most idiotic lie I have ever heard of, Sakura shouted. Both of the genin sighed at her antics while Kakashi's sweat dropped. Okay. Let's begin. He set an alarm clock and pulled out 2 bells. You have 2 hours to get these bells from me. You can use any ninjutsu, taijutsu, or genjutsu. If you don't get a bell, you get tied to one of those stumps while I eat a bento in front of you. Naruto smirked while Sasuke and Sakura's stomach growled out in protest. Sakura said, but, sensei, won't you get hurt? After all, Sasuke-kun is on the team. Naruto muttered, oh, yes, Sakura, way to inflate the Uchiha's ego to enormous proportions. Sakura fixed a glare at him. You are just jealous. The Jade Dragoon wielder replied sarcastically, right. Kakashi sighed. Enough. Let's get things started. Shinobi fight all set. Ready? Go. The 3 genin moved. Well, Naruto just moved backwards to sit on the stump. Kakashi said, you are either very brave or very stupid. Naruto replied, I would go with the first option, Inu-san. Kakashi's eye widened at his old Anbu codename, so you know. Naruto said, your hair is still the same from back then, also you know that this test is not going to work. Kakashi said, what are you talking about? Naruto replied, the fact that a team must work as one to overcome a stronger adversary, but the Uchiha has that high and mighty ego of his and Haruno follows him around like his little bitch. Neither one will listen to reason if I ask since I demonstrated our ties already. Kakashi said, you have changed a lot, Naruto, but I do have to evaluate your skills. Naruto raised his eyebrow. Really? I thought you would just read your book instead of that? Kakashi said, yeah, but that is for making them too mad and reckless when they are fighting me. I have no idea what you are capable of. Naruto sighed as he jumped down with his retractable staff out. Bojutsu. Kakashi thought to himself. Naruto, without a word, charged at the silver-haired Jonin with blinding speed. Kakashi pulled out 2 kunai and parried his opponent. Naruto ducked as Kakashi swung his other armed hand to his head, then twisted to the side, swinging the staff over his face, slightly bending backwards. Kakashi moved narrowly from the move as Naruto slammed the staff into the ground, propelling him toward Kakashi. The Jonin brought up his arms in a cross position, catching the staff and locking it between his weapons. Nice maneuver, sensei, but this is not an ordinary staff. Naruto twisted the pole to have a sharp 4-inch stake appeared inches from Kakashi's face. Wow, you are serious and very good using this staff. The silver-haired man said to Naruto, I am surprised. Suddenly kunai and shuriken came to Kakashi's side. Naruto said, I was wondering when you would show, Sasuke. Sasuke said arrogantly, move, Dobi, you obviously can't defeat him. Naruto said, you are right, Sasuke, unless we work tog. Sasuke interrupted, I can do this myself, I don't need you. Then the Uchiha moved away to find Kakashi. Naruto sighed, I tried, but at least I got a bell. He never noticed that one of the bells were nicked in the fight and with Sasuke's interruption, it fell. Good thing I threw a genjutsu before I had my staff caught. Oh, well, I will just find Sakura. Soon Sakura came out, looking for Sasuke. Hey, Sakura, I need your. Sakura snapped at him. Shut it, Baka. Can't you see that I am trying to find my Sasuke-kun? I don't have time for you. Then she ran off to find her beloved Uchiha. Naruto sighed and laid on his back. My team sucks ass. Sasuke the Uchiha appeared before Kakashi. It appears that I will have to pick up the slack. Kakashi looked at him and reached into his pouch to pull out. Wait for it. Wait for it. Everyone's favorite perverted book, Icha Icha Paradise. Sasuke grk me. He crouched down, flinging kunai and shuriken at Kakashi. The Jonin dodged to the side, but one of Sasuke's weapons happened to cut a line, making more kunai propelled toward Kakashi's current position at the tree. The Jonin said, nice trap, but not enough. He pushed himself off the tree, but the Uchiha came behind him with a flying kick. Kakashi blocked it and grabbed Sasuke's ankle, then Sasuke aimed a punch, but Kakashi caught it in the palm of his hand. Next, Sasuke twisted his body to use his right leg to kick at him, but Kakashi moved his elbow to block the assault. Sasuke smirked as he reached for the bells. Damn! Kakashi thought as he moved his hip. The two sprung away from each other, skidding across the ground. The Jonin thought, he is good, he made me put my book away to fight him. Then he spoke out loud, you are better than I anticipated though. Sasuke scowled as he flipped through hand signs, ending with Tiger. Kaden. Gukakyu no Jutsu. Kakashi thought, what the hell? No genin shouldn't have that much chakra to perform that jutsu. The fireball bursted from Sasuke's mouth, engulfing Kakashi. Then after a few minutes, Sasuke dispersed the connection to see that Kakashi's remains were not there. Where is he? He said to himself. Kakashi's voice answered for him, below you. Sasuke looked down to see Kakashi's hand grabbed his leg. Doden. Shinju Zanshu no Jutsu. Sasuke screamed in surprise as he was dragged into the ground, leaving his head above ground. Release me. Damn it, I'm an Uchiha. Kakashi said, how about no, I will leave you here to cool off while I go after Sakura. Sakura. Where is Sasuke-kun? Kakashi-sensei couldn't have. No, stop thinking like that. Sakura stopped in the bushes seeing Kakashi. Oh, crap, he almost saw me. Then she heard Kakashi's voice, Sakura, behind you. She turned to see Kakashi doing the ram sign and leaves began to blow past her face. After a few minutes, Sakura snapped out of her stupor and looked around. Huh? Where did sensei go? Then she heard Sasuke call her name and she turned with a smile on her face to the direction of her voice. She saw a battered, bleeding Sasuke with kunai and shuriken stuck into his body and one of his legs twisted in an odd way. So Sakura did the only logical thing. She screamed and fainted with foam coming from her mouth. Kakashi said to himself, I think I might have overdid it a bit. The bell rang, indicating that time was up. Well, time to give them the results. Kakashi said to himself. Minutes later, Sakura and Sasuke were tied to stumps while Naruto leaned against the reminding one. You guys. Well, except Naruto look hungry and by the way, Naruto, though I think you need to go to the academy for more knowledge. Sasuke and Sakura smirked at this, but Kakashi continued, but you don't need to, however, you two should quit as shinobi. Sasuke frowned and Sakura protested, what, why do me and Sasuke-kun have to quit, that Baka didn't do anything. Kakashi rounded on her, that Baka actually attempted, excuse me, got one of the bells from me and got the answer to the test while you didn't even do anything, Sakura. Sasuke asked, and the answer was? Kakashi said, teamwork, if the three of you had came at me at one, you could have gotten both bells from me. Sakura said, but, he didn't ask for help at all. Naruto pulled out a tape recorder. Hey, Sakura, I need your, shut it, Baka. Can't you see that I am trying to find my Sasuke-kun? I don't have time for you. Sakura flushed in embarrassment and Sasuke said, you could have asked me, Dobi. Naruto pulled out another, move, Dobi, you obviously can't defeat him. You're right, Sasuke. Unless we can work Tog, I can do this myself, I don't need you. Kakashi said, Sakura, you were so focused on finding Sasuke that you completely ignored Naruto's request for help and Sasuke here just assumed that the others are dead weight and tried to do everything himself. Individual play could cause situations like for example. Kakashi came up with a kunai and held it to Sasuke's neck, Naruto, kill Sakura or Sasuke dies. Sakura looked at Naruto fearfully, but he made no move against him. Excuse me, her. That situation happens if you are not careful. You are forced to make tough decisions and suffer the consequences. Kakashi said, now I am going to give you one last chance. Naruto, you can eat, but don't feed Sasuke or Sakura, got it? Naruto nodded, inwardly smirking at Kakashi's plan. Kakashi disappeared in a puff of smoke and the Jinchuriki immediately untied them and gave them food, but Sensei said, Sakura began to say. He was trying to hinder us like this morning. Since you two listened to him, you won't be in shape to fight if you're weakened, plus I ate this morning. Naruto said, giving them the bento boxes. Suddenly an explosion occurred in front of them and Kakashi's head popped out. You pass. So far, you two were following orders like little robots, but you must look underneath the underneath. A ninja who break the rules may be trash, but those who abandon their comrades are worse than trash, and, if I ever catch you doing that, I will personally have you drop from this program. All three of them nodded and then the Jonin said, good, you will start your first mission tomorrow. You are all dismissed for the remainder of the day. Naruto shunshined in a tornado of wind. Sasuke went to find Naruto to demand him about the secrets of his power, and Sakura as usual followed her crush to desperately fulfill her lifelong dream, to suck Sasuke's microscopic dick. Naruto appeared beside Hinata, who had just finished their test with Kurenai and were about to leave. Hi, Hinata-chan, Shino-san. Turns out that we were right, huh? Hinata nodded, seems we have. Naruto bowed, and you must be Hinata's sensei, nice to meet you, I'm Naruto Uzumaki. Kurenai said, I'm Kurenai Yuhi, Team 8's sensei and Hinata's adoptive sister. Naruto turned to Kiba, he said. The Inuzuka snarled, what, Uzumaki? Hinata warned dangerously, Kiba, don't start, or I'll finish what I started yesterday. Kiba growled, whatever, I'm going home. But in his mind, he thought to himself, just you wait, I will defeat you, Uzumaki, and take Hinata for myself. Akamaru whimpered at the look of Kiba's lecherous grin and inwardly thought that his master was going to get his ass kicked sooner or later. So, you're Naruto, right? Take care of Hinata-chan for me, okay? Hinata said, Nai-ne-chan. Kurenai said, what, I am fulfilling the role. Shino said, which involves embarrassing or threatening the boy. Naruto said, rest assured, she will be taken care of. He turned to Hinata, shall I walk you home, Hinata-chan? Hinata nodded as the reminder of Team 8 and Naruto parted ways. Over the few months, the new Team 7 had been doing many D ranks. This time they were on another D rank, catching Tora, the Fire Lady's cat, again. This is Maelstrom, I'm in position, Naruto said through his microphone. This is Avenger, 5 meters from the target and closing, Sasuke said. This is Blossom, I'm ready to go. Kakashi said, this is White Hawk, all units go. The genin moved to catch the beast and unfortunately Sasuke got there first to get credit for catching the cat. Tora began to scratch Sasuke's face, marring it with claw marks. Sakura tried to get Tora off of her crush, but Tora kicked her in the face. Then the cat jumped and was about to run away until it heard Naruto calling him. The Jinchuriki was crouched down, holding out some catnip. Here. Kitty. 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 Here, Tora. Tora walked slowly towards Naruto, sniffing the catnip and ate it. Then the cat rubbed up against Naruto's hand and the Jade Dragoon wielder said, mission accomplished. Target is confirmed as Tora with red ribbon tied to her ear. Kakashi said, good job, Naruto, let's return to the tower now. Sasuke growled, I hate cats. Tower Team 7 watched as Lady Shijimi went to hug Tora, but the cat stayed by Naruto, rubbing against his leg. OHW friend. Lady Shijimi said with a smile. Naruto said, Lady, I noticed that in the past few days, and you must excuse me if I have offended you, but your affection is the cause of Tora's frequent disappearances. Lady Shijimi said, are you saying that I am smothering Tora-chan? Naruto said, as a matter of fact, I am. Cats like to be pampered a lot, but too much will cause it to seek out a new potential master. Though Tora is a nice cat, I don't want to steal the bond you two share, so try a little bit harder not to squeeze Tora too much. Lady Shijimi looked angry and everyone else except the Hokage, who was thinking, holy shit, Naruto is going to get himself killed going against the daimyo's wife. Well, almost everybody was thinking that. Sakura thought, finally that baka is going to get punished, maybe even executed, then me and Sasuke-kun can finally be alone and profess our undying love to each other. A.N. Bitch please. Sasuke thought, HMPH, now I will be the only powerful person on this team. I will take his staff, his power and everything else, especially that Hyuga girl. Then the lady started to smile. What is your name, young man? Naruto smiled. Naruto Uzumaki. Lady Shijimi said, in all my years with Tora, no one has ever grasped the meaning of this D rank, not even the Sannin or the Hokage. The meaning was no matter what you do, speak your mind in a respectful manner even when your life is on the line. Everyone's jaws except the Hokage dropped at the Fire Lady's words and Naruto bowed. Thank you, Lady Shijimi. The lady said, no, I must thank you, Naruto Uzumaki. You are a true ninja to look underneath the underneath. I hope that we meet again sometime and for your reward, you can call a request of me to appeal to my husband. Naruto said, smiling, thank you, Lady Shijimi. The lady with Tora in her arms walked out and the Jinchuriki turned to see everyone with their jaws dropped still and as usual Sasuke and Sakura were glaring at him. Guys, you can pick up your jaws from the floor now. Sasuke said, how did you know that this mission was a test? Naruto said, I didn't, I just want to make Tora's life and for the rest of the genin especially you since you looked like you were going to kill Tora on the next time he ran away. Sakura said, you must have known, there was no way, Sasuke-kun should have gotten that favor. Naruto said, I swear I didn't know about it. Sakura was about to accuse him again until Kakashi said, Sakura, stop, Naruto didn't get any special treatment because every generation before yours knew about this test and sworn to secrecy to never tell the meaning of this test, now you three must do the same for the next generation. Sasuke scowled at Naruto, who was not looking at him at the moment. Can we get a higher mission? These D-rank missions are petty and stupid. Iruka said, Sasuke, you are still a fresh genin, you still need to do D-rank missions for now. Naruto said, Iruka-sensei, I think that a C rank would be good for us. There is a lot of tension and think getting out of the village for once can relieve some tension we are experiencing with the D-rank missions. Sarutobi puffed on his pipe, Naruto, though you have brought up great reasons, I can't give you a C rank mission. Just then Team 8 came in with Kurenai to report their mission to the Hokage. Kiba, noticing Naruto, began to growl and Hinata shot him a glare, silencing him. Hey, Hinata-chan, Shino, Kiba, Akamaru. Naruto greeted them with a wave. Hinata smiled and waved back while Shino nodded his acknowledgement to him. Kiba huffed in annoyance while Akamaru acknowledged Naruto with a bark. Then the Hokage got an idea. How about I send Team 8 as backup on the C-rank mission you request? Sasuke said, no, I already have weaklings slowing me down, I don't need any. Naruto interrupted, we will take it, Hokage-sama. Sarutobi said, okay, Team 7 and Team 8 will be escorting a man back to his village, protecting him from bandits. His name is Tazuna, a bridge builder. Just then Tazuna came in the room, drinking a bottle of sake. You are giving me a bunch of snot-nosed brats, especially the indigo-haired girl. She looks like she is going to cry at any given moment. Suddenly Naruto caught Hinata's hand. Hinata, we can't kill the client, and as for you, Tazuna, I would advise you not to insult us. We are capable of protecting you and plus you have 2 Jonin to compensate. Tazuna wilted in fear because of either Hinata's glare or the kunai lodged in the wall near his jewels or both. Well, I am the super bridge builder Tazuna and I expect you to protect me with your very lives. 2 hours later, everyone arrived at the gate waiting for Kakashi and Tazuna to arrive. Kurenai was getting a little peeved off. Sakura was peeved off, but didn't mind since she was with Sasuke and pestering him for a date. Sasuke ignored her and began making plans to make Kakashi pay for making him wait while there were strong guys waiting for him to defeat. Shino was, well, Shino and Kiba was pestering Hinata for a date while she ignored his advances adamantly and looked at Naruto, who was playing the flute to pass the time. Akamaru shook his head sadly since his master couldn't see that Hinata's heart was won by Naruto's actions and smile. Then Kakashi came up with Tazuna, saying, yo, to his surprise, everyone shouted, you're late. Kakashi's sweat dropped while rubbing his head, anyway, let's go now. Everyone went into formation, surrounding Tazuna. Kakashi and Kurenai were in the back. Sasuke and Sakura were on Tezuna's left. Kiba and Shino were on his right, and Naruto and Hinata were in the front, to Kiba's dismay and anger. Naruto said, "So, Hinata-chan, how is it on your team?" Hinata sighed, "It is great, but Kiba tend to be a little adamant on his advances. I am trying my hardest not to hit him." Naruto said, "That's fine, but if he lays a hand on you, I will step it, unless you can handle it yourself." Hinata smiled, "That is why I like you a lot. You were sweet when you were protective." Naruto playfully pushed her and Hinata giggled a bit, making Kiba bristle in anger. Naruto and Hinata noticed the puddle and their faces grew serious. Kakashi and Kurenai noticed them tense and purposefully lowered their guards to see why there were ninja after. The ninja are the bridge builder. The mist ninja's head peered out of their hiding spot, and one of them threw his partner over to the Jonin and wrapped their poisoned bladed chain. "What?" Kakashi and Kurenai shouted, and the Chunin pulled, ending their lives and destroying their bodies into bloody pieces of flesh and blood. Sakura screamed while Sasuke sprang into action, throwing kunai at the Chunin. The Chunin moved, avoiding the projectiles to run into Shino's bugs. One of them said, my sea chakra." Shino said in monotone, "Yes, my bugs are Kakaichu bugs. My little friends only feeds on chakra to survive or subdue my enemies. You two will not be any trouble now." Naruto asked, "Now who sent you here?" The other Chunin boasted, We won't tell that answer to the likes of you." Kakashi said, "Then perhaps you will tell us then." Both of the Chunin's eyes widened in shock to see Kakashi and Kurenai alive. But how? We killed you. Why, your guard was completely down when we attacked you." Kurenai said, "What did you think, that we were stupid? It has not rained for days and yet there is a puddle laying there." Kakashi said, "Good job, Sasuke, Shino. To the rest of you, you did a good job in protecting the client." Sakura said, "But how are you still alive?" Kakashi jabbed a thumb at the pile of bloody logs. "Kawarimi. Now if you will excuse me, these two have some explaining to do." Kakashi dragged the helpless demon brothers to the forest while Kurenai interrogated Tezuna. "Okay, Tezuna, why did you lie to us about ninjas being after you? This so-called C-rank mission has escalated to a B or even an A- rank mission now." Tezuna said, "All I could afford is a C-rank mission. Our country is so poor that every FGH to scrap by, all because of one man, Gato. He arrived at our country posing as a legit businessman, but he takes over companies using thugs and illegal trades to intimidate his opponents." Naruto said, "So due to him, you couldn't afford any money to get a B-rank mission. I assume that the whole village had to pitch in to help, right?" Tezuna nodded and Hinata turned to Kurenai. "Sensei, we got to help them. Those people should not have to suffer at all." Sakura said, "This mission is too advanced for us. We shouldn't go." Naruto said, "Sakura, I disagree. There are people that are dying and hurt all because of one man's greed. I can't allow that to happen on my conscience. If your family was hurting because of someone, wouldn't you want someone to help you?" He turned to Kurenai. "I vote that we go." Hinata stood by Naruto and grasped his hand, saying, "Me as well." Shino said, "I stand by Naruto and Hinata's decision." Kiba said, "I will go too." The Inuzuka glared at Naruto. "I will not let you make me look bad in front of Hinata. She will be my bitch sooner or later," he thought. Sasuke said, "There will be strong guys that will be there, so I am going too." Sakura said, "Fine, I see that I am outnumbered by democracy." Kakashi returned with the two Chunin, beat up and bleeding. He tied them to a tree. Those two that attacked us were called the Demon Brothers, Maizu and Gozu. They are training to kill their target even if it may kill them in the process. They were hired by Gato, and there is a Jonin that was hired by him also, Zabuza Momochi, the Demon of the Mist. Kurenai said, "The genin here have voted to go ahead with the mission." Kakashi nodded. "That is fine. Normally I wouldn't go if my team was the only ones here. We will continue." Tezuna said, "Thank you guys so much. If there is some way to repay you." Naruto said, "No need, we are happy to help. Now let's get out of here before more Noopnans try something." Boat Kaji carried them across the lake and said, "Now you got to be quiet or else Gato's guards will hear us coming." Everyone nodded as they saw the unfinished bridge. "Wow, nice bridge." Naruto whispered in awe. Tezuna whispered back, "I told y'all I can make a pretty good damn bridge." Kiba said, "It doesn't look like much to me." Hinata said, "I think it looks nice." Kiba did a complete 180. I agree with Hinata. Everyone's sweat dropped at the Inuzuka's antics to impress Hinata. Kurenai said, "Kiba, how many times do we have to go through this? Naruto and Hinata are together now and there is nothing you can do to change it. If Naruto just so happens to hurt her in any shape or form, and he better not, then you can try your luck. Until then, stop your useless attempts to get her." Hinata silently thanked Kurenai and turned to Naruto. "See, all you had to do was say that." Naruto said, "Hina-chan, we both know that Kiba will not listen to me since he hates the fact that I stole you from him. No matter what I say or do, he would have continued to pester you, plus I will not do anything that you could handle yourself." Kaji said, "We're here, this is as far as I can go. I can't risk getting caught anymore." Tazuna said, "I understand, Kaji. Thank you for doing so much for us." Kiba walked behind Naruto and Hinata, glaring hard at the back of Naruto's head. Naruto sighed as he felt Kiba's leaking killing intent growing. "Kiba, I know that you are jealous and all, but really, is this necessary?" Kiba growled, "Yes, it is. You asshole, I will get Hinata one way or another. She will be my bitch." Naruto suddenly spun and elbowed Kiba in the ribs hard before punching him in the face. Naruto said, "Insult me all you want, but calling my girlfriend a bitch is the last thing I will tolerate from you. Next time I won't be so merciful to you." Kakashi said, "Though I appreciate you defending your girlfriend's honor, Naruto, but can you please refrain from hurting Kiba now?" Naruto said, "I will try, Kakashi-sensei." Suddenly Sasuke caught their attention by throwing a shuriken in the bushes. "Tch, I miss him." Hinata went into the bushes to see a bunny. "A white hair, isn't it supposed to have brown fur in the spring?" Kurenai said, "Yes, Hinata, you are right. This means something kept it indoors as a pet and used it as a substitution." Kakashi tensed up. "Someone is here," he thought. Then everyone heard a strange whistling sound. "Everyone, get down now," Kakashi shouted, recognizing the sound. Naruto tackled Tazuna while Kurenai yanked Kiba and Hinata down. The rest of them knelt down to the floor as a massive sword was thrown in the air and sunk itself into a nearby tree. Then a man with bandages wrapped around his mouth and wearing camouflage sleeves with light blue pants propped himself on top of the hilt of his sword. Zabuza Momochi, a rank Nukanin wanted for assassination attempt on the Sandaime Mizukage. Also known as the Demon of the Mist and an ex-member of the Seven Swordsmen of the Mist. Kakashi recited from memory. Zabuza said, "Ah, my reputation precedes me just like yours. Sharingan no Kakashi. I see you brought the illusion mistress with you and some brats." Sasuke growled and moved to charge at Zabuza until Kakashi put a hand out in front of him. "Sasuke, I'll handle this." Zabuza said, "Do you mind giving me the old man?" Kakashi said, "Genin, don't enter this fight, that is the teamwork here. As for you, Zabuza," he lifted his Hite aid to reveal a fully matured Sharingan. "What is the Sharingan?" Naruto asked. Sasuke said, "It is the bloodline of the Uchiha clan. The eyes have the ability to read and defeat all types of genjutsu, ninjutsu and taijutsu. But that is not the only ability either." Zabuza finished, "Hey, what's scarier is that those eyes can copy your opponent's jutsu once they see them. The only flaw is sealless jutsu and clan jutsus." Naruto thought, note to self. Practice jutsu so I can do it sealless once Sasuke gets his Sharingan. Zabuza said, "It is quite formidable especially with Kakashi, since it is said that he has copied over 1,000 jutsu." Sasuke thought, but Kakashi is not an Uchiha, so how does he have a Sharingan eye? Hinata thought, that eye, it must have been implanted to replace his eye, probably prior to Kakashi's scar over his eye. Zabuza said, "Enough chit-chat. I have to kill the old man so I can get paid. But it seems that I have to take care of you two first." Zabuza took his sword and pushed off the tree to free it. Kiba said, "Where is he? I can't smell him because of this mist." Sakura shouted, "Over there, he is on top of the water." Hinata activated her Byakugan and saw that Zabuza was releasing a high amount of chakra. Ninpo. Kirigakure no Jutsu. He disappeared into the mist and Kiba shouted, "He is gone." Shino said, "My bugs can't detect him at all." Kakashi voiced, "He'll come after me or Kurenai." Momochi Zabuza, When he was part of Kirigakure, he was best known for his mastery in the art of silent killing. In other words, he is so good that you won't even notice until you are already dead. All of you be on your guard because I have not mastered all the aspects of the Sharingan yet. Shino said in monotone, the mist is getting thicker. Zabuza's disembodied voice appeared as if he was everywhere in the mist. 8 choices. Lungs, liver, spine, jugular vein, clavicle vein, brain, kidneys and heart. So many choices, but which one to go after? Kakashi made a hand sign to blow away the killing intent that Zabuza was producing as well as Kurenai, but the genin were not so lucky and were shaken in fear. Sasuke thought as he gripped his kunai knife, what a dangerous and powerful ki. It feels like I will be killed if I make one single move. The intensity of 2 jonin locked in combat, fighting to the death. I can't bear the pressure, I rather just die and get it over with. Naruto looked at him and tapped Sasuke on the head. Calm down, Sasuke, we will get through this. Kakashi said, he is right, I will not allow my comrades to die. Zabuza said, we will see about that. The middle of the Manji formation and Naruto pressed the button on his retractable staff, hitting Zabuza in the torso. Then Naruto twisted the staff, letting his 4-inch stake stick into Zabuza. Then the Jonin appeared behind Naruto, who was pushed out of the way by Kakashi. Zabuza hit Kakashi, cutting him in half. Sakura screamed in terror since it was right in front of her and fainted. Naruto made a cage bunshin to catch her before she hit the ground. Damn it. You have to faint at a time like this. The blood turned into water and Zabuza thought in surprise, what? Mizu Bunshin? He was actually able to copy me in this mist? Suddenly a kunai was pressed to his neck courtesy of Kakashi. Don't move. It's over, Zabuza, the Jonin said. Shino said, your sensei is quite powerful, Naruto. Naruto said, it's not over yet, Shino. Judging by his character, Zabuza is not that easily taken care of. Zabuza laughed, he is right, Kakashi. There is no way that your monkey imitations can possibly defeat me, but you are quite impressive. You copied my jutsu at that moment you came down the brat. You had me distracted with that clone and hid your real self until I came out. Another Zabuza behind Kakashi finished his sentence, but I am not that easy to fool. The Zabuza popped in front of Kakashi and Kiba shouted, that one is a clone too? Kakashi ducked under Zabuza's horizontal slash and Kabikari Bocho dug into the dirt. Zabuza turned sharply, switching his hands on the pommel and sent a mighty kick to Kakashi, launching him into the water. Kakashi's sensei got knocked away by that much, Naruto thought. So he's strong in taijutsu. Sasuke thought to himself. Kakashi thought, why the hell is this water so heavy? Zabuza appeared, standing behind him. Hey, fool. Suiden. Suiru no jutsu. Kakashi was caught into a ball of water, son of a bitch. Zabuza chuckled. I can't believe you fell for that, trying to hide in the water. I am a fucking mist ninja for Kami's sake. Naruto deadpanned. He does have a point, you did fall for that. Kakashi said, oh, shut the hell up and get out of here now. Zabuza said, the kid is right. Mizu Bunshin no jutsu. A water clone appeared near the shore. Kurenai thought, damn, I am not suited for this situation. I can mostly do genjutsu and he can dispel any with pain. Naruto retorted, no, we can't allow that, sensei. Sorry, I am disobeying this order. Kiba said, Naruto, he is a fucking Jonin. Hinata decided to play the card he would never thought he would play. You can go, Kiba. I am sure that I won't think any less of you. Kiba bit his lip and saw that he had 2 choices. To run away or to stay and fight to possibly, N. He, yeah right, like that will happen in my FIC, win Hinata's favor. Like hell I am staying here. Hinata might get hurt. The Inuzuka said, puffing out his chest. Naruto thought, typical Kiba to react like that. The Jinchuriki said, okay, me, Sasuke and Kiba will deal with Zabuza's clone and Hinata. You will help Shino since he is a long-range fighter and protect Tazuna. The clone said, like you brats can get my clone, HMPH, you can't even handle 1/10 of my strength at all. Naruto said, all right. Naruto charged with Kiba behind him. Naruto engaged the clone with his staff. While the clone was occupied with Naruto, Kiba came behind him and shouted, Suga. Naruto jumped out of the way and the water clone couldn't protect itself and splashed into water. Sasuke took out a windmill shuriken and launched it at Zabuza. Well, damn, that was impressive, but... Zabuza began as he grabbed the shuriken. No shuriken will be able to touch me at all. Then a second windmill shuriken snapped out of the first shadow. Cage shuriken. Kakashi thought. Then Zabuza jumped over the second shuriken. I told you that no shuriken can touch me. The shuriken poofed into Naruto, who shouted, then how about a kunai? Zabuza looked behind him to see the kunai coming closer and closer to him until he moved, losing his grip on Kakashi's water prison ball, and the kunai grazed his cheek, drawing blood. Zabuza came after Naruto, who poofed into smoke. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu success, Naruto said, twirling his staff. Kakashi said, thanks, Naruto, excellent plan. Now as for you, Zabuza, I will warn you, the same trick doesn't work twice on me. Zabuza said, let's put that to the test. The Zabuza and Kakashi jumped away and did hand signs at breakneck speed, finally ending with the Tori sign. Sweden. Suiryuden no Jutsu. Everyone watched as the two water dragons battled it out. So many hand signs, but in seconds, he copied them perfectly. Sasuke thought. Kiba said, Sugoi, Kakashi-sensei might win this battle. The water fell down around Kakashi and Zabuza at a standstill. Kakashi's kunai against Zabuza's Kabikari Bocho. Strange, what's going on? Zabuza thought as he jumped away. He copied my movements completely. Kakashi finished reading them. Zabuza thought in shock. The hell? Is he reading my mind? Damn it, that? Kakashi voiced. Freaky eye is pissing me off, right? Zabuza shouted. You can't beat me, you monkey bastard. I'll make it so you can't never open that mouth again. He flipped through hand signs until he saw something unnerving. That is, me? That's impossible. Is this that Kurenai's genjutsu? Kakashi saw his chance and shouted, Sweden. Daibakufu no Jutsu. Zabuza said, what? Impossible. He was blasted by the water vortex as he thought, he did my jutsu before I was able to perform it. His back slammed into the tree and Kakashi threw kunai, pinning him to the tree. It's over, Zabuza. Kakashi said. Zabuza said, but how? Can you see into the future? Kakashi looked back at him with his ominous Sharingan eye. Yes, the future tells me that you are going to die. Suddenly Zabuza was hit with two senbons to the neck and fell to the ground, growing still. A hunter nin giggled. You're right, he is dead. Kakashi shifted down to check his pulse and thought, he really is dead. The hunter ninja bowed. Thank you for your help. I have been searching for the perfect moment to kill Zabuza. Kakashi thought, strange, he is a hunter nin, but by the sound of his voice, he or maybe she is not that much older than Naruto. The hunter nin shunshin to Zabuza's body. Now I must dispose of the body. Farewell. Naruto attacked before the hunter nin could finish his or her sentence. Then the ninja shunshin quickly, making Naruto curse, damn it, he or she got away. Kiba said, you idiot, the guy was trying to get the body away. Naruto retorted, that is true if he or she was a true hunter ninja. Kiba said, what are you getting at? Kurenai said, of course, hunter ninja are supposed to kill and dispose of the body. The only proof he or she could have taken to prove the kill was the head and the weapon the ninja used. Hinata said, Senbon needles. Oh hell no, Naruto said. Oh hell no is right, Hinata. Kiba said, what? I don't get it. Kakashi said, there might be a chance that Zabuza is still alive. Sasuke said, that is impossible, he was dead, you said so yourself. Naruto said, that may be true, but there are some points on the body that can put you in a false death. Sasuke said, yeah, right, Dobi, there is no way. Kakashi interrupted, actually Sasuke, he is right, there are nerve points on the body that can do that, the neck, which has no protection at all, can be easily penetrated. Anyway, let's get Tazuna back home. Tazuna said, yeah, you guys can come to my house and relax for a bit. Kakashi suddenly tipped over and fell to the ground. Damn, I used the Sharingan too much. Naruto looked at him for a moment. Okay, who is going to carry him? I am already carrying, well, hell. Naruto tapped Sakura awake and she said, what happened? Naruto said, You fainted after seeing Kakashi get sliced in half. Zabuza is gone for now, but he will be back. Kurenai carried Kakashi and Hinata got an idea from that. Naruto, can you carry me? She asked of her feet and began to carry her bridal style. All you have to do is ask, Hina-chan. A woman named Tsunami began to pace back and forth, mumbling her worries while her son Inari was upstairs watching the ocean as he always does. I hope that Tusan is okay. I just have a bad feeling that something bad happened to him, she said softly. Suddenly the door was knocked and Tezuna's voice said, Tsunami-chan, open up. It is me, Tezuna. Tsunami ran to the door and opened it to find Teams 7 and 8 with an unconscious Kakashi leaning on Kurenai's shoulder. Oh Kami, what happened? The woman asked. Tezuna answered, we were attacked by one of Gado's hired assassins. He is really strong and Kakashi here fought him to a standstill and exhausted himself. Kakashi groaned a bit and Tsunami said, come in quickly and I will set up a bed upstairs. A few minutes later, Tsunami said with her hands on her hips, are you going to be okay, sir? Kakashi answered, no, but I will recover to full strength in about a week. He turned to Kurenai, can you train my kids for a while until I regain my strength? Kurenai said, sure, Kakashi, I will do that. Team 7, Team 8, you will come with me. The two teams came with her to the forest and Kiba asked, what are we going to do, sensei? Kurenai said, we are going to climb trees. Sakura scoffed, Peef, we can already do that. Kurenai said, really? She gathered chakra to her feet and walked up the tree. You can do this already? Sakura mumbled, no, Sasuke said, what is the point of that exercise? I thought you were teaching us some jutsu. Kurenai said, the purpose is to teach you how to properly control your chakra. You all have been using your chakra recklessly. In theory, if you master this exercise, you can master any jutsu. She took out 6 kunais and threw them at their feet. Use those kunais to mark your progress if you so happen to fall off. You may want to get a running start to get up the tree. Kiba said, this will be a piece of cake for me. The genin gathered chakra to the bottom of their feet and then ran towards the chosen trees. Kiba fell to the ground, slipping off the ground. Shino went up the tree for a few minutes before flipping off the tree. Sasuke got up farther and then flipped over trees after slashing the tree. Damn, too much. Sasuke thought angrily. This is easy, Sakura said. Everyone except Naruto and Hinata looked at her in a tall tree. She was sitting on a high branch on her tree. Kurenai said, it seems that Sakura has more control than you 3 boys. Kiba said, wait, 3, where is Hinata? Hinata said, up here. They looked to see Hinata looking up to see that Naruto was still walking up the tree. Kiba said, how the hell he got up there so fast? Naruto replied, one of my teachers taught me that if you focus, you will be able to get further to your goal. To control your chakra, you got to focus and clear your mind of everything. Shino took his advice and got up farther than before. Sasuke did the same as Shino, but Kiba didn't, he kept falling down to the ground. Kurenai said, it seems the 3 of you are more advanced in your chakra control, so you 3 keep on working on it while I will teach them water walking. Kurenai created a cage bunshin to watch them and led Naruto, Hinata and Sakura to a nearby lake. Now it is the same thing with the tree walking exercise, but you must emit a constant stream of chakra from the bottom of the one's feet and using the repellent force to walk across the water's surface, Kurenai said. Naruto and Hinata nodded while Sakura started to mold her chakra and step onto the lake, only to fall in after a couple of steps. Ah, cold, cold, cold. Sakura shouted. Hinata giggled while Naruto tried to stifle a chuckle. Kurenai smirked, and if you so happen to lose control, you will get wet and cold. Naruto said, here, instant heat jutsu. Sakura's clothes were dried. Sakura said, thanks, but don't think I like you for that, I like Sasuke-kun. Naruto said, and I like Hinaheim, Sakura. I gave up on you 4 years ago. I realized that my crush was just infatuation. Hinata is the one that I can truly connect with. She was the only person nice to meet while you were the one who said hurtful things to me, just like Sasuke does to you. Naruto moved to take off his green muscle shirt and black trench coat along with his katana and staff. The Jinchuriki sealed the staff and sword into a blood scroll seal, knowing that Sakura might try to steal it for Sasuke. Hinata blushed as she saw his chest and noticed a small cross scar on his breast just above his heart. The Hyuga came up and traced her fingers over the scar, making Naruto shudder at her touch. "What happened?" she whispered. Naruto said, "I will tell you later." Hinata nodded and proceeded to take off her shirt, making Naruto turn away blushing. "Hinata," Kurenai said. Hinata took off her shirt to reveal that she had a black muscle undershirt on and walked on the water. Naruto followed the same thing, and then Kurenai began to distract them by throwing rocks into the water. The Jinchuriki fell in the water a couple of times because of his mental images of Hinata naked. "Damn, not now. I can't think about that stuff now," Naruto thought. Kasumi started laughing. Hee hee hee. Naruto thought, "Kasumi, are you making those images come to me?" Kasumi said, "Maybe." Naruto said, "Kasumi, stop it right this instant, don't make me come in there." Kasumi mused. How about no?" Naruto said, "That is it. Time for your punishment." Kasumi paled. "No, not that. Anything but that, I will be a good vixen." Naruto pictured his mind and the scenery changed into a dungeon with Kasumi naked, his legs and arms including her tails bound by ropes and a machine with a big dildo on. "You will be fucked by this machine until my training is done. Also you will not be able to have an orgasm until I wish it, have fun," Naruto said before mentally turning it on. Kasumi's cries of pleasure rang throughout his mind until Naruto cut off the link. Naruto was able to continue his training without any interference from Kasumi for 3 hours. The three of them were able to master it and Sakura was made to do the exercise to increase her chakra reserves. Gado's hideout Haku was sitting down beside Zabuza, who was resting until Gado came in with his samurai bodyguards, Waraji and Zori. "So even you have come back defeated, it looks like Kirigakure ninjas are pathetic." Zabuza said nothing and the samurais began to tense, flicking their swords an inch out of their sheaths. "An attack?" Haku thought. Gado said, "Hold on a second, there is no need to be silent." Gado reached out to touch Zabuza, only for Haku to grab his wrist and break his arm. "Don't you touch Zabuza-sama with your filthy hands," she said. The samurai reacted to save their master, but Haku grabbed their swords and aimed it at their necks. They sweated as they thought, "No way." Dachi moved in an instant. Haku said, "You shouldn't do that, I am in a very bad mood right now." Gado shouted while retreating with his lackeys, "One more time. If you fail again, you are no longer welcome here. Remember that," Gado shouted. Zabuza said, "Haku, you didn't have to do that." Haku said, "I know, but it is still too easy to kill that despicable man. If we kill him now, the hunters will be after us. We must not be impatient." Zabuza said, "Yeah, you're right." Mindscape Naruto came into his mindscape, finding Kasumi with her arms and legs bound and the dildo going in and out of her snatch. "How is the punishment?" Naruto said, watching her pant. Kasumi said, "Please, let me, come, please." Naruto said, "As you wish, Kasumi-chan." Naruto snapped his fingers and Kasumi came, screaming loudly. Kasumi arched her back on the table and fell back down. The machine disappeared and Naruto moved in front of her with a towel in hand, wiped the sweat off her body. "So what have we learned today?" Naruto said. Kasumi said, "Never mess with Naruto's mental images." "The Jinchuriki Ime for your reward." Kasumi said, "What reward?" Naruto said, "Why, the reward for telling me about Mizuki's bloodlust." Kasumi said, breathing hard, "You have gotten better." Naruto murmured into her shoulder, "I have a great teacher." Kasumi giggled, "True, well, then good night." Naruto held her in his arms and slept in his mindscape for the night. The next day, Naruto, Hinata and Sakura were sent to help Tazuna with the workers. Basically Naruto made some cage bunshin to help speed up the process, which surprised the workers except Tazuna. By noon, the workers went home to rest and the gang along with Tazuna went to pick up some food in the store. "Here we are," Tazuna said. Hinata looked down at a child in front of the store. "That is just a child," she thought. Hinata, with her kind heart, knelt down and touched the kid's shoulder. The kid looked up at Hinata's smiling face and she gave him a bento that she packed for lunch today. The kid beamed up and hugged her before running off. "Arigato, Oni-san." They walked inside the store and Naruto muttered, "This is all Gado's fault, because of him, There is hardly anything here to buy or survive on. Suddenly Sakura screamed, "Pervert," and knocked a man to the floor. The man protested, "No, I was." Naruto came to his rescue and gave him some money. "Was this you wanted, sir?" The man nodded and gingerly took the money. "Thank you, young man." Naruto nodded, "You are very welcome, now try to stay out of trouble." The man left and Sakura said, "Naruto, why did you do that?" Naruto said, "The man wanted money to feed himself or his family. I am not a type of person that lets anyone suffer pain for something out of their control." Tazuna said, "I got the stuff, let's go, you three." Naruto and Hinata nodded sadly while Sakura was still trying to figure out her teammate. "I swear I am going to kill Gato for this," Naruto whispered as he clenched his fist. Hinata thought, "Naruto-kun," Tazuna said, "all of the adults have lost hope, which is why we need that bridge. A symbol of courage, so the people of this place can cast off their fear and regain the desire to stand up for themselves." Naruto said, "Just like Inari's father," Tazuna said, "How did you know that?" Naruto said, "I noticed that Inari was always sitting in his room looking at the sea and crying while looking at a picture. There was a picture in the dining room with a man's face was ripped off and the same picture is in his room." Tazuna said, "His name was Kaiza, he was not his biological father, but he acted like one. He once saved Inari from drowning when he tried to save his puppy. Soon he captured our hearts and saved the village when a tsunami flooded the dams. Then, Gato came and took over the village. Kaiza was the only one who stood up to Gato and had his arms cut off before he was publicly executed." Sakura said, "Well, Gato had mercenaries, what do you expect?" Just then Naruto slammed his fist into a nearby wall and the wall had spider web-like cracks. "What is your problem?" Sakura asked. Naruto said, "Sakura, you are an idiot." Sakura said, "What did you say?" Naruto looked at her and Sakura was scared as his calm blue eyes flashed a slid blue-green. "You heard me. Huh, you have the nerve to call me baka. You don't understand anything at all. That man stood up against all odds to protect what he loves. The sad thing is that nobody joins his cause and left him to suffer. Because of his death, the village has lost the will to fight against Gato. Well, I am not going to let him do this anymore. Once we are done with this bridge, I am going to kill Gato and bring back this village's courage." The Jinchuriki turned to go to the forest. "Hinata, tell sensei I will be late, don't wait up for me." Forest Haku unfurled her hair and went to the forest to pick herbs for her surrogate father, Master. When she was picking herbs, she found a sleeping Naruto on the ground. "That is that boy, with Kakashi and Kurenai." She slowly reached out only for her to be caught and flipped on her back with a kunai held to her neck by Naruto. I know you are quicker than this, Hunter Nin." Haku's eyes widened. "How did you know?" Naruto said, "One thing I learned that was beneficial from Kiba. Your nose can sense a certain person's unique smell. You and the Hunter Nin both smell of vanilla and virgin snow." Just then Naruto's hand began to warm and he got off of her, looking at his hand. He saw that the blue sea dragoon spirit was reacting to Haku. "I see. She is the next blue sea dragoon. Then I must find a way to save her and her master." Naruto said, "Your name is?" Haku said, "Huh?" Naruto said, "Well, you can't expect me to call you Hunter Nin all the time, do you, miss?" Haku said, "My name is Haku and I am a boy." Naruto said, "Don't bullshit me, Haku. You are a woman and I know you have to hide your identity from Gato since he is a lecherous pig. Now I need you to listen to me for a moment." Haku said, "I don't have a choice, I am unarmed and defenseless." Naruto said, "I don't attack unarmed people unless they attack me first. Now I want you to tell Zabuza to break his contract with Gato. I have a feeling that Gato is not going to pay you guys at all and kill you. Since he is a Nukenin, it is easier to get rid of him and he might use you as a slave." Haku said, "That is true, Naruto-san. But Zabuza-sama needs the money to attack the Mizukage and overthrow his reign of terror." Naruto said, "I know this, so I will issue a challenge to him as a swordsman myself. If I win, he must break his contract and return to Konoha with me as my subordinate. If I lose, he gets me in my power." Haku said, "You are making a huge gamble, Naruto. Zabuza-sama is not to be taken lightly." Naruto said, "Neither am I. Also I must tell you this, you have a unique power that has just been awakened." Haku said, A new Kekkei Genkai? Naruto said, no, the power of the dragon. There is a legend where 7 heroes that possessed the power to transform using the spirits of dragon. They were called Dragoons. That legend is real today. Naruto activated his Dragoon form. I am one and you are one too. Haku said, how? Naruto said, my old sensei and friend sealed the rest of the Dragoon spirits into my hand. The blue sea, the dark, the white silver, the violet and the red-eyed Dragoon spirit. Haku said, wait, where is the 7th one? Naruto said, the wielder of the gold Dragoon. My other sensei left without giving his Dragoon spirit up. My teacher is looking for him at this time. He was last seen near Suna, wink wink. Haku said, but why me? Naruto said, I don't know, but you have been chosen to be the blue sea Dragoon and it will choose no one else unless you die. Haku said, why are you doing this? Naruto said, simple, we all hate Gato and want to end his life. I need you to help me find the other Dragoons and save the world from annihilation. I can't do that unless Zabuza lets you go or he submits to me. Haku said, I will relay your message and the fight will commence tomorrow on the bridge. Naruto nodded, thank you, Haku. Knight Sasuke and Kiba came back, exhausted and tired to see Naruto, and Tazuna said, you two are finally back, you guys look super dirty and worn out. Kiba boasted, we both made it to the top. Kurenai said, then starting tomorrow, you will help the rest of the genin protect Tazuna on the bridge. Tazuna said, thanks to Naruto's Kage Bunshin, the bridge will be complete tomorrow. Inari looked at Naruto, who was sitting with Hinata and cuddling with her. The memories of Kaiza filled the boy's head and Kiba scowled at the displayed affection that was mocking him. The boy started to cry silently and Naruto noticed it. Inari-san, what is wrong with you? The Jinchuriki asked. Inari shouted, why do you guys bother to try so hard? No matter how hard you train, you are still no match for Gato's men. No matter what glorious claims you make or how hard you work, the weak will always get killed by the strong. Naruto said, I know we will accomplish our mission. Inari shouted, I would hate to be like you. You don't know anything about this country or me, yet you are being so nosy. What the hell do you know about me? I'm different from you. You are always happy with your girlfriend and being cheerful. You don't know how hard life can be. Naruto closed his eyes slowly and whispered, Inari, Kaiza would be so disappointed in you as am I. Inari looked at him in surprise. What? Naruto said, your father would be disappointed about your actions. I do know how hard life can be. You see, back in the village, I know true pain. At the age of 4, I was walking home from eating dinner and a drunk man happened to find me alone. He grabbed me into the alley and began to beat me. Now at the time I have a burden forced upon me at the time of my birth and I never knew about it. He was the one who gave me this cross scar on my chest. Luckily he was stoned that he missed my heart. Naruto lifted his shirt to show his cross scar, making Hinata blush. Your country is a beautiful place. Well, it once was until the people lost the will to fight back against Gato. Only one man stood up to Gato to protect his family and country even though he knew that he was going to die. He wanted for his people to rise up with him, but the people were too afraid to do so. Gato is a spineless man with money and guards, but he doesn't have something, he doesn't have courage at all, so he has to hide behind his money. So Inari, you have two choices. Will you be like Kaiza, your father? Will you fight to protect your family and your country against all odds, or will you be like Gato, a weak and spineless person that hides in the background and watch everything that you love and care about crumble around you? The choice is yours. Naruto put on his shirt back on and walked outside to the pie. Then Kiba shouted, Naruto, that was too harsh. How can you yell at him for that? Hinata said, Kiba, Inari needed to hear that from Naruto. Do not try to gain favor just because I have a kind heart. I don't like you and I will never be with you. I only see you as a friend only. Naruto is the one that has my heart no matter what you do or say. Inari needs to learn that crying every day will not solve everything. I once was like that. I would always give up when something was hard. I was clumsy and timid before until Naruto encouraged me once. One day when I was 5, I was practicing my Juken and I couldn't make a dent in a tree. I started to cry as always and Naruto found me. He asked me why I was crying and I told him. Then he told me that crying will not solve anything. He told me to try again and again until I get it right. Naruto was the only one who was nice to me while you, Kiba. You thought that women are just fit for two things, and cooking. You never appreciate women like Naruto does, so I will never go out with you. Hinata walked outside to her boyfriend, who was looking at the stars. That didn't really happen to him, right, sensei? Sakura said. He just said that to make people feel sorry for him and made the scar for him to convince people. Kurenai scowled at Sakura as Kakashi said, Sakura, it is true because when I was in Anbu, I was constantly protecting Naruto from getting attacked. I was occupied at that time and got Naruto to the hospital to heal. I had to threaten a doctor with my original jutsu to heal Naruto and watched over him to make sure he didn't try to kill him. And Sakura, Naruto always tells the truth about himself unless it will hurt someone else severely. Sasuke stayed silent through the whole ordeal as Tsunami and Tazuna were shocked that Naruto held no grudge to anybody. Hinata walked up to Naruto and wrapped her arms around his neck. Naruto leaned back into her chest and said, Thank you, Hinata. You didn't have to come out to keep me company. Hinata said, But I wanted to. I hate seeing you sad and Kiba pissed me off. Naruto smiled, Hey, still thinking he can win you over, huh? Hinata said, Yes, but you are the only one who has my heart. Hinata took his head and kissed him. Naruto returned it, making her as the kiss deepened. Naruto broke the kiss and said, We better get back or they will think we have been kidnapped. Hinata pouted, Okay. Naruto smiled, You know, you are cute when you are pouting. Naruto kissed her again, making her grin and hold his blonde locks in her smooth hands before they went inside to turn in for the night. Next morning, Team 7 and Team 8 left to go to the bridge this morning and Naruto left a cage Bunshin to protect Inari and Tsunami in case Gato tried to use them for leverage. When they reached the edge of the bridge, they saw that the workers were tied up or knocked unconscious. What's this? Tazuna said. Naruto said, He is here. They turned around to see Zabuza and Haku standing. Naruto said, I must thank you for sparing the villagers. Zabuza said, Figures you would say that, kid. Kakashi moved to uncover his Sharingan until Naruto put out a hand in front of his sensei. Sensei, I will fight him. Kakashi said, Fine, Naruto, but if it goes bad, I will step in. Naruto said, No, don't step in, me and Zabuza made a deal. If I win, I get Haku and Zabuza to come back to Konoha and if I lose, Zabuza here gets me. Kakashi said, Then just make sure you don't lose. Naruto smiled, I can't or Hina-chan would kill me first. He unsheathed his katana and walked slowly to the middle of the bridge. Kurenai said, Are you nuts, Kakashi? Kakashi said, No, I am not. To tell you the truth, Naruto is exceptional with a staff and a sword. He almost made me use the Sharingan because of his skill. Sasuke bristled in anger at Naruto's power while Kiba became slightly fearful of Naruto. Naruto said, Are you ready? Zabuza brandished Kabikari Bocho. Yep. No ninjutsu or genjutsu, right? Naruto slipped into a stance. Right. Let's go. Naruto and Zabuza charged at each other to clash in the middle. Naruto took out his staff and brandished it while jumping back from Zabuza's attack. Zabuza jumped back as well, and then attacked Naruto. The Jinchuriki jumped over the slash and knocked Zabuza upside his head with the metal staff. Zabuza staggered back, his head pounding as Naruto shouted, Harpoon! Zabuza staggered backwards, but recovered quickly to thrust at Naruto, who dodged the thrust and then Zabuza swung the flat of his blade to hit Naruto like he was a baseball bat. Naruto skidded back, but then he ran forward in a zigzag pattern to confuse Zabuza and attacked him ferociously. Zabuza smirked as he caught the staff within the hole in his executioner blade and smirked. Naruto returned the smirk and clicked a button to have the stake hidden in his staff stabbed his thigh. Zabuza jumped back in pain and said, Damn it, what else does that staff have in it? Naruto smirked and said, A lot of things. Naruto made the stake retract back into the staff and twisted the staff in the middle to make the staff separate into two swords with an 18 inch blade on each one. Zabuza said, Kid, you are full of surprises. The demon of the mist planted weight on his wounded leg and tested it to see that it would not slow him down at all. Naruto attacked him with the blades and Zabuza blocked them at each turn. Naruto spun, trying to cut at Zabuza's legs, but Zabuza jumped back to bring Kabikari Bocho down on Naruto's head. The Jinchuriki blocked the attack just before it sliced his shoulder open. Damn, that was close. If I had not blocked in time, my arm would have been decapitated. The Jinchuriki thought as he clasped his shoulder for a while. Ignoring the pain, Naruto pushed against Zabuza's sword, making his adversary unbalanced and slashed at his arm. But Zabuza grabbed his arm and tried to slash at him, but Naruto blocked it and head-butted Zabuza in the chin in order to let go of the hold on him. Naruto charged, but Zabuza kicked him in the torso. Naruto staggered back and avoided a quick slash from Zabuza, then flipped over him to get behind the Demon of the Mist. He tried to hit the hit with the flat of his blade. Haku was in awe at the swordplay her master and her newfound friend were displaying in front of her. Sasuke's fist clenched, his nails digging in his palms as he was forced to watch Naruto battling against Zabuza, a revered swordsman of the mist and a Jonin, a fucking Jonin. How is it that you, Naruto, a nobody can be able to attain power stronger than me, an Uchiha who is an elite in Konoha? Sasuke thought to himself, why are you stronger than me? Kiba thought, that is Naruto's power. How the hell can he be this stronger? He is just an idiot. No matter, I will have to train harder to get Hinata away from him. Kurenai was shocked that Naruto was surviving against Zabuza. It was unreal that a boy his age can be this strong. It had not happened since Itachi was enrolled in the academy. Zabuza tried to impale Naruto in his midsection with a thrust only for Naruto to kick the blade to the side, making Zabuza open. Naruto slashed at him, shouting, "Crush dance!" Zabuza fell to the ground with Kabikari Bocho a few feet to the side. Nice job, kid. You fought well, I submit, Zabuza said, looking at the Jinchuriki. Naruto said, the battle is done. Gado's voice said, Zabuza, you are pathetic. You got beaten by a kid. I was wrong to hire you. Everyone looked at the end of the bridge to see that Gado was in the front with a legion of mercenaries behind him. Kill the men and capture the women, especially the ice bitch. I will use her as my personal slave. Zabuza rose up and was about to move until Naruto made his staff again and revealed the stake. That is unacceptable. He began to twirl his staff, making wind surround him along with green leaves. Everyone had to cover their eyes at the stinging wind. When it died down, they were in shock at Naruto. Naruto was wearing green armor with an orange jewel in the middle of his chest, and to their surprise, he was flying with wings from his back. Ever-changing as the wind, Naruto Uzumaki, the Jade Dragoon. Naruto stated with his spear in hand. Kill them. Gado shouted. Naruto shouted, Wing Blaster. The Jinchuriki summoned his power and tilted downwards to blast the charging mercenaries from the bridge. The mercenaries were hit by the blast and thrown off the bridge into the sea, either dead or hurt badly. Naruto floated downwards as a blast of green light surrounded him, reverting him back to normal. Hinata grabbed Naruto, who was weakened by the spell. That spell still takes a lot of chakra to do. Naruto panted, I saved, Gado, for you two, deal with, Zabuza. Naruto fell unconscious as Zabuza took Kabikari Bocho and dragged it across the floor ominously towards Gado, who cowered in fear, trying to get away from his inevitable fate. Wait, Zabuza, I was just kidding, you didn't think I would kill you, right? The wannabe mafia boss said, stumbling over his words. Zabuza said, Gado said fearfully, yes. Zabuza raised his weapon, fuck you, this is for my apprentice. Sakura and Hinata looked away as they heard a scream and then a sickeningly crunch indicating that Gado, the tyrant of wave, was dead. Zabuza came back with blood spattered on his face and torso. The swordsman said, well, I think I will pass out now. Zabuza's eyes rolled up in the back of his head and fell to the ground. Haku caught Zabuza and sent her master gently down to the floor. Hinata took Naruto on her back, which latched on and murmured, Hinata-chan. Hinata blushed at Naruto saying her name as she walked back toward Tazuna's house along with the rest of her friends from Konoha. Hours later, Naruto's eyes flickered open and looked around to see Hinata asleep on the chair next to his bed. The Jinchuriki smiled at his girlfriend and lifted himself up, placing her in his bed. Then the boy went downstairs, cracking his neck as he found Kakashi and Kurenai sitting at the table with Zabuza and Haku. Oh, you are up, Kakashi said. Naruto said, yeah, what happened when I was out? Kakashi said, nothing much, we found Gado's hideout and took his money, paying for the A-rank mission and giving the rest to help Wave get back on their feet again. Where are the others? Naruto asked. Kurenai replied, we sent them to help Tsunami-san with the groceries, what was that transformation you did at the bridge? Naruto said, that was my Dragoon form, it allows me to gain strength and a boost of power. The attack wing blaster uses a lot of chakra and I am still not used to perform it, but if I stay longer in the form, I can use it with less chakra. Kakashi said, can anybody gain this power? Naruto said, no, you must be chosen to get the power. There are 8 of them: wind, fire, water, ice, light, dark, lightning, earth and divine. The divine is non-existent and only appears when the world is on the verge of destruction. One of the reasons that I fought Zabuza was for Haku since she is one of the chosen ones. Naruto unsealed the colored stones in his hand and the blue stone began to flash a light blue light to go and float towards Haku. The stone landed gently in her hand and sealed itself into the palm of her hand. You will be able to draw on the Blue Sea Dragoon's power now, Haku. I want you to use this power only when you are in danger or if the ones you love are being threatened. Haku nodded and then the rest of the genin came in the room. Naruto's palm changed into a square-like form along with his own green stone in the middle of the square. Hey, Dobi, what was that form you took? Sasuke asked. Naruto said, it is a transformation, Sasuke. Long ago, mythical beings known as dragons lived. They made a pact with the humans and when they died, they turned into powerful stones. When a human with the most compatibility to them is near, it awakens and gives them the ability to morph into a new being. This is the legend of the Dragoon. Sasuke demanded, give it to me. Naruto replied, it can't be given, Sasuke. The Dragoon spirit can't be controlled by mere force or ambition. Sasuke shouted, I am an elite, surely one of those stupid spirits have chosen me. Naruto said, if that were true, my hand would have a warm sensation. Even if you happen to have the spirit stone in your hand, it will not react to no matter what you do. You are just going to have to live with it. Sasuke said, you just don't want me to have it. Naruto said, I would give it to you if you were chosen by it. Maybe you are one of the chosen, but the spirit doesn't deem you ready yet. Sakura said, just give it to him. Sasuke grabbed his arm and tried to grasp at his palm where the spirit stones were held. It is sealed within my body, nobody can get it unless I wish it or someone else that I know who I won't tell you can unseal it. This seal is not an ordinary seal, Sasuke. Now I suggest that you remove your arm from me or you will lose it. Sasuke flinched at the cold look that Naruto was giving him. Why, it is that you have so much power while I am stuck at the bottom? Sasuke asked. Naruto said, in reality, we are both the same, we both experience the pain of loss, the pain of loneliness, the fear of losing your own life, but we survive to strive, to attain further strength. But there is one difference, I use my power to protect the ones I care about. You use your power for revenge. Sasuke said, so? Naruto said, so what will you do after that, Sasuke? You will become a former shell of yourself if you continue to walk the path of the Avenger. Sasuke scowled, you know nothing about me. The Uchiha left as he said, whatever, you can keep your power, I will attain a better power, stronger than your Dragoon form, then I will defeat my brother and then you. Sakura shouted, why didn't you give him the stones? Sasuke-kun needs that power to kill his brother. Naruto said, the Dragoon spirits are not to be used for ambition, but to protect people in need. Sakura was about to speak again until Kakashi said, Sakura, that is enough, Naruto has explained himself, you have no right to yell at Naruto f his Dragoon form. Now this matter will not be discussed any further. If I find out that you have told anyone about this, I will see to it that you will never take a mission lower than a D rank ever again, am I clear? Sakura nodded fearfully at her sensei and the day went on from there. Kiba was slightly fearful, but he denied the fact that Naruto was stronger than him. Shino socialized with Naruto and Hinata more often. Haku was trained by Naruto on summoning her Dragoon form. N. Picture a cross between Shayna's and Meiru's Dragoon form. The shin guards and chest armor of Meiru with the skirt of Shayna. The Ice Princess also changed her wardrobe, wearing Anbu pants and a baby blue shirt along with a black jacket. Her choice of weapon was a sledgehammer and since she once uses Zabuza's sword a few times, she had the strength to use it with effective damage. Sakura sat around doing nothing but staring at Sasuke, glaring at Hinata and Naruto in anger mixed with fear while Sasuke sat to brood most of the time and train harder with Kakashi, who was reluctant at first. The Jonin cursed the council for allowing their prized mentally unstable Uchiha to join the ranks. he found it highly difficult to have Sasuke jutsu that were highly destructive and in high rank. He had to effectively lie about teaching him C-rank jutsu, when in reality, there were actually D-rank jutsu. Soon the bridge was finished and the Konoha teams along with Zabuza and Haku left Tazana, Inari, Tsunami and the rest of Name's inhabitants. Without Naruto's knowledge, the bridge was christened after him as the Great Naruto Bridge. Konoha. It is good to see that you are all safe and sound, and on top of that, we have a new addition to our ranks. You all have done very well on your first A-rank mission. Sarutobi said. I expect great things from each of you. Now Zabuza, I trust that you are living with Naruto along with your adopted daughter? Zabuza said, that is correct. Sarutobi said, you will have a month probation and will be trailed by Anbu to make sure you don't do anything suspicious, but I seriously doubt that since Naruto has earned your respect. Zabuza nodded to the Hokage and Naruto escorted Haku and Zabuza to his house to get them settled in. Sasuke went home to train and think of ways of surpassing Naruto and his brother Itachi, with Sakura doing her daily activities, Sasuke stalking. Hinata shunshin home knowing that Kiba would try to pester her to ditch her boyfriend and go out with him, but she was not having any of that. Kurenai, Kakashi and Shino went home to do the things that they do after the rest left. Soon after that, Naruto led Haku on a tour of Konoha, showing her the sights of his home village. Haku noticed the stairs aimed directly at Naruto and vaguely remembered the same look in her father's eyes when he found out about her bloodline to control ice. She made a mental note to ask him about it, knowing that he was hated for something that he had no control over. So things were pretty peaceful for a while until a month passed. 1 month later, Team 7 had just finished a mission and Sasuke was glaring at Naruto, who was reading a poetry book at the time. Damn it, there are tons of guys like Naruto and that Haku girl out there, yet I am stuck here doing these petty missions. On another note, Naruto always has to be the one stronger than me. And he doesn't even have to use his Dragoon form either, so why is it that I can't keep up? The Uchiha thought to himself. Sakura thought, stupid Naruto, always upstaging my Sasuke-kun with his stupid staff of his. Naruto thought, hey, Kasumi-chan, how is my body adapting to your yokai? Kasumi answered, you should be able to handle 2 tails of my power. Naruto thought, that is it? Kasumi said, Naruto-kun, I am the strongest out of the 9 Biju. With just 2 tails, you can decimate a whole forest with ease. If you try to force a change, I don't know what will happen. Naruto thought, sorry, it is just that I want to be ready for any surprises. Your power is my last resort of desperation. You know how cautious I am. Just then a hawk circled overhead and Kakashi said, that is it for today, I have to submit today's mission report. Sasuke said, then I am going home. Sakura said, wait, Sasuke-kun. Sasuke turned to Sakura, if you are asking for another date, I'm not interested. Instead, why don't you go train for once? You are not even up to my level or Naruto's, in fact you are the weakest one on the team. Sakura was downcasted and Naruto said softly, Sakura. The boy looked at Sakura and decided to leave her alone before she decided to vent her anger out of him. The Jinchuriki closed his novel and said, oh, Konohamaru, you can come out of the box that you call a rock. Konohamaru along with his friends Moegi and Udon came out of the box, coughing from the gunpowder. Hi, boss. To answer how did Naruto meet Konohamaru and his friends, Konohamaru at one point had been doing sneak attacks on the Hokage very badly until the boy tripped on his ridiculously long scarf. When Konohamaru accuses Naruto for tripping him, Naruto pointed out his scarf and that he was nowhere near the boy and Konohamaru didn't listen. Naruto told Konohamaru to attack him and the same result happened again. After Naruto left the Hokage's office, Konohamaru followed and begged Naruto to teach him. Naruto agreed and taught him the Henge no Jutsu. Of course his teacher Ebisu came to stop Naruto since he still thought was the Kyuubi brat. Konohamaru, knowing that his mentor was a closet pervert, used the Henge no Jutsu to change into a naked girl. Seeing Ebisu's reaction, Naruto used the Kage Bunshin no Jutsu and combined the Henge no Jutsu to look like Kasumi's naked form, making Ebisu blast into the sky with a nosebleed. After that, Konohamaru acknowledges Naruto as a rival and vowed to defeat him one day. Hey, Konohamaru, Udon, Moegi, Naruto said with a smile. Konohamaru said, hi, Naruto, can you play ninja with us? Naruto said, Well, I was going to train, but I need to have some fun once in a while. Moegi said, Where is Hinata-chan? Naruto said, She is probably at home. Sakura said, Just why would a ninja play ninja? Naruto turned to her, Oh, Sakura, I thought you went home. Konohamaru said, Hey, Naruto, who is this? The Jinchuriki said, That is my teammate, you guys, we better go, she is not in the best of moods right now. Konohamaru raised an eyebrow, She is PM Singh? Naruto said, No, she is Udsing. Udon said, What is that? Naruto answered, Uchiha deprivation syndrome. It is most common in fangirls. You see, the fangirl get rejected from asking the Uchiha on a date and therefore become depressed. Symptoms are anger, clenching of fists, criticizing everything in sight and maybe severe beating of anybody in their path. Sakura cracked her knuckles and went to punch Naruto, but he caught it and looked at her with his cold green eyes. Look, Haruno, it is the truth. You have no purpose in life other than to get Sasuke to be your boyfriend when he is obviously not interested in you at all. How about you focus on being a real shinobi instead of a damsel in distress, he said coldly. Sakura shivered as she saw a vision of a dragon and a fox behind him ready to bring judgment on her soul. Naruto let go of her fist and walked away along with Konohamaru and his friends. They rounded the bend to see two unidentified ninja walked in the opposite direction. Naruto said, Hello there. The two stopped in front of him. One was a boy wearing a suit that had cat-like ears and wore purple markings on his face. Beside him was a girl with blonde hair held together into 4 pigtails and a large fan strapped to her back. The girl said, Hello. Naruto said, Are you two here for the Chunin exams? Udon said, Chunin exams? The boy said, The Chunin exams are a series of tests for registered genin to move up to the rank of Chunin. The genin in question must show effectiveness, leadership and quick decision-making. Naruto said, I wonder if our sensei is GTO the exams. May I ask you 2 names? The girl said, I'm Sabaku no Tamari and this is my younger brother Kankuro. Naruto said, Pleased to meet you both, I'm Naruto Uzumaki. Do you mind asking your friend to come down and Sasuke, you can come down too. Sasuke came down as well as a red head with teal eyes surrounded by black eyeshadow or indication of lack of sleep with a gourd strapped to his back. Sasuke said, How did you know I was there? Naruto said, Sasuke, you have been following me for the past month, trying to figure out my training strategy for the past 3 weeks now. I can recognize your chakra signature anywhere in a 1-mile radius and the reason I detected that guy was the bloodlust that he was giving off. The redhead spoke, You too, what are your names? Sasuke said with a smirk, Uchiha Sasuke. Naruto said, Naruto Uzumaki and can you tone down your killing intent please? You are scaring my friends. Konohamaru and his friends were hiding behind Naruto, feeling dread from the redhead's intent. I'm Sabaku no Gara. I will look forward to seeing you two in the exams. Naruto said, Likewise if we are in the exams. Gara said, Tamari, Kankuro, let's go. Naruto thought, So he is the leader of the group, it seems that we have to be careful of him, I have a bad feeling about this. Hokage's office the Sandaime said, You all know why you are here, the Chunin exams are upon us again. Genma asked, So, how long? The Hokage answered, They will start in exactly 1 week from today. Sarutobi asked, So who will be nominated? Kakashi said, I, Kakashi Hatake, sensei of Team 7, consisting of Sasuke Uchiha, Sakura Haruno and Naruto Uzumaki recommend all 3 for the Chunin exams. Kurenai said, I, Kurenai Yuhi, sensei of Team 8, consisting of Shino Aburame, Hinata Hyuga and Kiba Inuzuka recommend all 3 of them to take the Chunin exams. I, Asuma Sarutobi, sensei of Team 10, consisting of Ino Yamanaka, Shikamaru Nara and Choji Akamichi recommend all 3 of them for the Chunin exams. Suddenly Iruka spoke out, Lord Hokage, if I may speak, I know most of the students that were called were once my own, I don't believe that they are ready for the exams, it is too soon. Kakashi replied to the Chunin, We understand your feelings, Iruka, but that decision is not up to you, they have gotten stronger than you last saw them, they are ready and it will be a good challenge for them. Sarutobi said, Alright then, the rookie 9 will be entering the Chunin exams, Here are your slips and tell them that the exams will be held in the academy on the third floor in room 319. Dismissed. On the next day, Kakashi gave them their slips and Naruto, Sasuke and Sakura were surprised, excited and a bit nervous about them. The Kyuubi Jinchuriki's mind wandered to Gaara as he thought, that guy, Gaara, he is very dangerous and something tells me that it involves him and his nature as a Jinchuriki. In order to find more information, I must enter the exams. He signed the form and went to sleep on that note. The next morning, he woke up and got dressed, taking his retractable staff and a scroll filled with medicine, food and more weapons. He left the apartment and went to the academy, meeting Sasuke and Sakura to his surprise. Personally, he thought that she wouldn't be here at all. As they entered, there was a commotion in front of the crowd. 2 genin were blocking the entrance to the exams and most of the genin tried to get in, but were knocked back to the ground. One of the genin guarding the door said, "Hey, we are saving your asses from the Chunin exams. We know what it's like since we failed in 3 times. Then Sasuke arrogantly said, "For someone who failed the exam, you sure know how to put genjutsu up very well. Drop it. I got business on the 3rd floor." Naruto sighed as he thought, the genjutsu was to fool the genin who couldn't see through it and rule out the weaklings, but now, Sasuke, you just made it harder for all of us. The disguised Katetsu attacked Sasuke and the Uchiha returned the favor by sending a kick of his own, but a bull-haired kid came in the nexus of their kicks and stopped it. Then a bun-haired girl dressed in a pink Chinese-style shirt and green pants came over to the green spandex-wearing kid to knock him upside his head. "Lee, I thought we agree on not revealing our skills." Lee said, "But Tenten." He looked at Sakura and Tenten followed his gaze to see Sasuke and Naruto. The bull-haired kid along with his teammates approached them. "Hi, I'm Rock Lee. Would you like to go out on a date with me? I'll protect you with my life," Lee said. Sakura said, "Hell no, you are definitely not my type." Then a new voice called, "Hey, you with the scowl." Sasuke turned to see a Hyuga with a smug look on his face. "What is your name?" Sasuke said, "Uchiha Sasuke." The Hyuga replied, "Neji Hyuga. I look forward to see you in the exams." "Lee, Tenten, let's go." "Hold on, Neji." Tenten looked at Naruto and asked, "Is that a retractable staff?" "Yes, it is, and you are?" "Tenten, I am a weapons specialist. Your weapon is very unique to have. I would love to see how you use it in battle," she replied. Naruto said, "Well, it looks like you will maybe get that chance, Tenten. My name is Naruto Uzumaki." He looked at the Hyuga and thought, that must be Neji Hyuga, Hinata-chan's cousin. Neji scowled at him and Naruto turned to him and asked, "What is with the scowl, Neji-san? How do you know me?" "Your cousin Hinata happens to be my girlfriend and she told me about you. She has nothing but respect for you, but she believes that you should lighten up a bit with that fade stick shoved up your ass." Matter of fact, most of the Hyuga clan does seem to have a stick up their asses. Neji's scowl grew even further, but Naruto continued, "But this is a warning, considering she told me about your strained relationship with her in the main branch. If you attempt to kill Hinata in these exams, I will make sure that you will never walk let alone fight again." Neji moved back and Team 7 walked upstairs, then Lee and Tenten followed with Neji a few feet behind. His eyes. Was he serious? "No, I'm a genius. Plus it is his fate to be a loser and failure in life," Neji thought to himself. But he couldn't shake the feeling that Naruto would carry out his word. As soon as Team 7 was proceeding upstairs, Lee called down to Sasuke, "Sasuke Uchiha, I challenge you to a duel." Naruto said, "Sasuke, we have no time for this." Sasuke said, "I have plenty of time to beat this freak." Naruto said, "Sasuke, never underestimate your opponent." Sasuke didn't listen and Naruto sighed, "Fine, but don't say I didn't warn you at all." Needless to say, Sasuke was defeated by Lee due to his superior speed, but he was able to activate his Sharingan during the battle and the Uchiha had a smug smirk on his face as they approached the doors. "So, Sakura did come after all," Kakashi said. "What do you mean?" she asked her sensei. "If you or your teammates came without each other, then I would have to bar you guys from the exams." Naruto said, "Why did you tell us this sooner?" "Because teamwork is essential in these battles that you will face. Now good luck and be careful," Kakashi said as he stepped away from the doors and Team 7 walked inside to meet the stares of rookie and veteran genin from every village. Soon Sasuke was glomped by another one of his fangirls, Ino Yamanaka, whose clan specializes in jutsu that affect the aspects of the mind and were the best interrogators in Konohagakure. Sakura began to yell at her and the two started their feud as usual. Then Team 8 came up with Kiba announcing their presence. Kiba scowled at the Jinchuriki as he greeted his girlfriend, Ohio, Hinata-chan. Ohio, Naruto-kun. Then a silver-haired ninja with glasses walked up and said, "Geez, you are such a noisy bunch. I assume that all of you are rookies." Naruto said, "May I ask who are you?" The boy said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm Yakushi Kabuto." Sakura said, "You seem to know this your second time." Kabuto said, "No, this is my seventh. The exams are held twice a year." Kiba said, "Wow, you suck." Kabuto said, "You're right, but I managed to obtain all this information on the Chunin exams in my ninja info cards." Sasuke asked, "Do you have information on individuals?" Kabuto said, "Why yes." The Uchiha said, "I want information on Rock Lee and Sabaku no Gaara." Kiba said, "I want information on Naruto Uzumaki." He grinned as he thought, "I bet his record is humiliating and then Hinata will go out with me." Kabuto pulled out 3 cards and said, "Rock Lee, he has completed 20D rank and 11C rank missions. His taijutsu is off the charts, but his ninjutsu and genjutsu is non-existent. Sabaku no Gaara, he has completed 14C rank and 1B rank. His abilities are unknown, but it is said that he has returned from every mission without a scratch. Lastly, Naruto Uzumaki, he has completed 24D rank and 2A rank missions." Sakura said, "Wait, that is wrong, we only did 1. Kabuto said, "Oh, you didn't know, he happened to catch a Chunin, Mizuki Fugawa, from taking the scroll of sealing and killing Iruka Amino. His stats in taijutsu, kenjutsu and ninjutsu are fairly high." Kabuto said, "Now the ones that you should watch out for are Iwa, Aim, Kiri, Suna and Kusa. Otto is a new village, so there is no threat from them." Dosu whispered, "Did you hear that? He said that we are insignificant." Zaku said, "Really? What do you say that we teach him a lesson?" Kin nodded and the Otto team weaved through the crowd. Zaku leapt into the air, throwing shuriken. Kabuto dodged and Dosu appeared before him, revealing his melody arm. Dosu was about to swipe at Kabuto until Naruto blocked it with his arm. "Enough, save your energy for later," he said coldly. Then the door blasted open to reveal Ibiki and a group of Chunin proctors came in. "Oi, Otto, there is no fighting in this room unless I say so or I will make sure you get escorted out of this room," Ibiki said. Dosu said, "Sorry, I guess we were a little excited." Ibiki shouted, "All right, you sons of bitches, get your asses up here and pick a number." Naruto muttered, "Wow, either this guy is riled up or pissed off at something." The genin, one by one, went and pulled out numbers to find their seating arrangements. Naruto found himself sitting next to his girlfriend and a random genin. "Well, this is pleasant, I get to sit by Hina-chan," he muttered, whispering the last part. Hinata blushed, hearing the first part, "Nice to see you too, Naru-kun." Ibiki said, "Oi, lovebirds, no love fest." Naruto retorted while flipping the bird, "You are just mad because you're not getting some with somebody." Ibiki narrowed his eyes, "What did you say?" Naruto said in a bored tone, "Oh, try it and see what happens." The Chunin and genin paled in fear at the exchange of words. The Kyuubi brat was battling words and insults against Ibiki Morino, the mind sadist. Then Ibiki smirked, "You're interesting, kid. I like you, now here are the rules. This is a written test with 10 questions. You each start off with 10 points, you miss 1, and then you will have 9 and so on. If you cheat, 2 points will be deducted. Also this is a team test, to see how many points up to 30 your team can hold on to. You have exactly 1 hour to complete the test, begin." The silence was broken with the rustling of papers and people steadfastly working to answer the questions. Sneaky bastard, he wants us to cheat. First, he scared the genin into answering the questions carefully, covering up the fact that you only lose 2 points for cheating. Naruto thought. He looked at Hinata, seeing that she was discreetly using her Byakugan. He whispered, "Hey, are you done?" Hinata gave him a slight nod and then Naruto took her paper and copied it, knowing that Ibiki and the proctors were watching. When he finished, the Jinchuriki smiled at Ibiki, who smirked, That son of a bitch, he saw through that and made the test requirement. Mocking me, huh? Soon everyone was discreetly cheating for answers, but some were caught by Ibiki or one of the proctors courtesy of a thrown kunai. Ibiki purposefully threw one close to Naruto's head, but the Jinchuriki didn't move an inch as it passed and embedded itself into a Genin's test slightly behind him. Number 38, you failed. One of the proctors called out. Numbers 74, 29, you failed as well. Minutes later, Ibiki said, okay, time's up, now we will begin the 10th question, but there are some added rules to this question. The rules are for you to decide whether to take it or not. An AIM ninja shouted, what happens if we don't? What if we say no and don't take the question? Ibiki answered, easy, you failed along with your teammates. A random genin shouted, then of course we will take the question. The proctor chuckled ominously, but if you answer this question incorrectly, you will never be able to take the Chunin exam ever again. A kunoichi shouted, that is some bullshit. Ibiki turned to her, making her flinch in fear, you got a problem with it, and then you can leave. Anybody else want to leave? Nobody moved an inch at all, for everybody else that is here, passes, Ibiki said with a smile. A loud shout of what pierced the tension in the room. Sakura asked, then what about the 10th question? Ibiki answered with a smile, your choice to take the question was the 10th question. Tamari shot out, so what about the other 9, what was their purpose? The torture and interrogation leader said, those questions were not for a genin to answer unless you were a genius, forcing you to cheat, so we had 2 or more Chunins located near you to help up out. Those who cheated poorly failed. Ibiki chose this time to untie his bandana to reveal his scarred hand full of burns and screwholes, because, at times, information is more important than life, and people will risk everything to get it. Sasuke thought. The after effects of torture. Ibiki retied his bandana, if the enemy notices you, there is no guarantee that the info will be accurate. Information can be a powerful weapon for your country and teammates. Tamari said, Demo, I don't understand the final question. Ibiki sighed, the 10th question is based on a choice, a leap of faith that could make you or break you. The ability to face any hardships and be perilous is the qualifications for a Chunin. So I wish you guys luck. Naruto smirked at him and to his surprise, Ibiki returned the smirk. Interesting kid, Ibiki thought. Suddenly Ibiki detected movement at the window to find a banner flung into the room. It began to unwind to reveal a woman in a fishnet and long-sleeved beige trench coat. You guys should not be celebrating this early yet, she shouted. The banner had been embroidered with, the mistress, Anko Midarashi. Anko said, I am the second examiner of the exam, now let's go. Ibiki came from behind the banner, Anko, you're early, again. Anko retorted, you left 78 genin pass, Ibiki? Your test is way too easy. Ibiki said the last part lowly, there are some interesting one this year. Anko scoffed, hey, whatever, my test will cut them at least down to half. Sakura thought, in half? The promiscuous woman said, I am getting excited, everyone, follow me to the second phase of the exams. Anko led the genin to a training ground, which had a circular fence with gates surrounding the edges and a sign that was written, forbidden. Only Chunin and Jonin allowed. The Tokubetsu Jonin turned to them and said, welcome to training ground number 44, the second stage of your exam. In Konoha, it also bears another name, the name of the Forest of Death. Naruto commented, it doesn't really look like much to me. Anko trained her eyes on him and smiled, you are a spirited one. The Jinchuriki instantly knew that she was going to try something and the proctor popped out a hidden kunai from her sleeve quickly to throw it at Naruto's head. Naruto tilted his head to the side to avoid it completely. The knife embedded itself into a strand of Akusa Genin's hair. Anko appeared behind Naruto with a kunai at his neck, you didn't get cut. But all of the spirited ones are the ones that are killed first, spilling that red blood that I love so much. Then she turned with another kunai in hand as the Kusa Genin returned her weapon using her tongue. Yeah, it is a real bad idea for people to creep up behind me like that. I have a tendency to kill them when they do that. The Genin replied, I apologize, I just wanted to return your kunai. It cut my precious hair and after seeing you in action, my blood is just rushing with excitement. Hinata thought in fear, Naruto-kun, what is up with this examiner? This is bad. Sakura thought, and that Kusa girl too. Looks like we got some bloodthirsty ones in this test. Hee, this should be fun. Anko said with a smirk while Naruto thought, you are the bloodthirsty one. Anko regained her composure. Well, then before we start the exam, you have to sign these papers. There will be deaths in this one, and if you don't sign these, it will be my responsibility. I am going to explain the test, and then you can sign them. After that, each team will check in at that booth behind me. She handed Naruto the waiver forms and he passed them out as she said, simply put, you will attempt the ultimate survival. First, I will explain the area. There are 44 gates exactly, and there is a forest, a river and a tower in the center. Each gate is exactly 10 kilometers away from each other. During the survival in here, you will be asked to complete a certain task. Using the weapons and jutsu that you have, you will compete in a no-rules scroll battle. You will fight over these two scrolls, Heaven and Earth. Since there are 26 teams here, half will get Heaven and the other will get Earth. To pass this test, you must reach the tower with both scrolls. Sakura muttered, so half of the teams will definitely fail because of this requirement. Anko said, there also is a time limit. The test will last for 120 hours, which is about 5 days. Ino protested loudly, 5 days. Choji said, what about food? Anko said, you are on your own. The forest is filled with food. You just have to watch out for the man-eating beasts, poisonous plants, poisonous insects, etc. and 13 teams passing is not likely. As the days progressed, the time to rest is shorter and the distance to the goal is farther, plus the area is filled with enemies. You will not get that much sleep. So you can fail not only for losing the scroll, but the harshness of the course. She smiled. Now let's talk about what will disqualify you. First, those who don't make to the tower within the 120-hour time limit. Second, those who lose a teammate or have their teammate killed. As a rule, there is no quitting in the middle of the exam, so if you are going to BA, don't sign those papers. You will be in the forest for 5 days and also you can look inside the scroll until you make it to the tower. Shikamaru asked, what happens if you do? Anko said, why spoil the surprise when you can dare to find out yourselves? Chunin are asked to handle classified information. This is to test your trustworthiness. That is it. Exchange your 3 forms for your scroll, and then choose a gate to get ready for the start. Naruto already signed his on the spot while Anko was explaining the rules. Anko said, oh, and a final word of advice, just don't die. Just then a random Chunin came out from the tarp to state that it was about time to exchange the scrolls to the teams. As the teams went to get their scrolls, the Uchiha thought as he watched, I see, so you can't tell which team gets which scroll or who on the team is carrying the scroll. It is just exactly what Ibiki said. In this test we will be risking our lives fighting for information. Everyone is an enemy and everyone is determined. There will be killing. Anko looked around. Looks like the meaning of the signing that form has sunk it. Soon the genin teams were placed at different gates to go through and Anko said, everyone, follow an instructor and go to your gates. We will begin the second phase in 30 minutes. As 30 minutes passed, Anko declared the start and the genin raced through their gates. Somewhere in the forest, there was a team in matching spandex suits that were watching Team 8. Kiba stated, so basically everyone is headed to the tower, right? Then setting traps near there would be best. Akamaru quietly barked and Kiba said, so they're here already, Where? Akamaru shifted his head to the left and upwards. One of the spandex Konoha ninja said, hey, kids just standing there out in the open. Do they want to be found? Looks like they have sensed us, but they don't know where exactly we are. Abruptly he started to shiver and one of his teammates said, hey, what's wrong? You are turning blue. Then he noticed something out of the back of his shirt. What the hell is that? Suddenly giant leeches dropped from the canopy and fell to the ground. Konoha jumping leeches will sense all life forms and attack in a group. 5 minutes of sucking and you will be shipped off to the next world. Realizing that and setting traps where the enemy might escape to. 1 down. Suddenly the trap that the Konoha group was under activated and they screamed loud. Anko heard them and commented, well, looks like they started already. Team 7 Sasuke turned to Naruto and said, give me the scroll. You might lose the thing. Naruto sighed, seeing that there was no sense in arguing with him. He took out the scroll and made to give it to Sasuke, but he reached for Sasuke's kunai and threw it at a nearby bush, making a rain ninja appear in the air. Kaden. Housenka no Jutsu. Sasuke shouted as he spat out small fireballs at the airborne rain nin, but the enemy ninja was able to avoid it by grabbing a nearby branch and pressing his body against the back of the trunk to protect him from the onslaught of flame salvos. But then he turned to find Naruto on his left side to flush him out and give him a punch to the face along with a savage back kick, sending him toward Sasuke, who had a kunai and stabbed the ninja in his arm. Damn it, I knew that I should have came alone. He cursed as he went away. In case we get separated again next time, even if it's one of us, don't trust them. This could happen again, Sasuke stated. Then what do we do? Asked Sakura. We make a code word just in case. Listen, assume that they are the enemy no matter what they look like, so listen carefully, I will only say it once. The Uchiha responded. Distinguish each other with something that will make us know that it is the real you. The Uchiha chose to activate his Sharingan. Naruto opened his palm to show his tattoo and Sakura, well, embarrassing enough, chose to reveal how many routes she can take to reach the Uchiha compound. Suddenly a sharp wind came in and blew the four of them away from each other. The lone team of Kusa stood a little way from them. You two can go play somewhere else, I will deal with these three. Her subordinates nodded and left their leader as she laughed sadistically. Meanwhile Naruto got up from his position and stiffened as he felt someone or something behind him. He slowly turned around to see a large snake behind him and the blonde said, "What the hell does this forest have to feed you, big guy?" He slowly reached into his holster and the snake chose that time to strike at him. The Jinchuriki jumped over the snake and stabbed the kunai in its head, making the snake hiss in annoyance and tried to shake the human off. Naruto held on for dear life and stabbed another, only this time, he used his chakra to cover it and made the kunai pierce deeper into its skin. The snake, this time, tried a different approach by slamming its head into the various trees. Naruto quickly jumped off and the kunai sank into the snake's head, and when the snake opened its mouth to hiss in pain, he quickly launched a kunai with an explosive tag in its mouth and the tag exploded. Ki flap around in pain before it keeled over on its side, dead. Finally, I hate snakes. Then the snake disappeared in a white plume of smoke and Naruto said, a summon. So whoever did that wind jutsu to separate us must be the same person who summoned and sent that snake after me. Meanwhile Sasuke was the first one to reach the area that his team was at, and later, the Haruno came next. Sasuke activated his Sharingan instantly and raised his kunai. How many routes can you take to get to the Uchiha compound? Approximately 27 routes, one is in construction right now. Yep, definitely you, Sakura. Where is Naruto? Sasuke asked and the Fokunoichi replied, I have no idea. Suddenly Naruto came out. Hello, Sakura. Sasuke. Immediately the Uchiha threw a kunai at him. Nice disguise. But the Baka never calls us by our first name and his seal is on the inside of his hand, not the back. Naruto smirked as he disappeared to reveal the form of the freaky Kusa Kunoichi. Impressive that you knew your teammate inside and out. This will be more fun than I thought. The Kusa Kunoichi said as she took off her hat. The smoke cleared to reveal a strange-looking woman with a headband indicating that she was from Kusa. So, where is that idiot Naruto then? Sakura thought, I don't like this. That woman is giving me a creepy feeling. Sakura's thoughts were confirmed as the woman took out her earth scroll. You want my earth scroll since you have the heaven, right? The woman stuck out her abnormally large tongue and forcibly shoved the scroll down her tongue. That was utterly disgusting. Sakura voiced out loud. The Kusa Kunoichi said in a dark voice, touching her eyeball with her finger, now the battle for the scrolls will commence with our lives on the lifeline. Sasuke and Sakura's eyes widened with fear as they literally saw their death played out before their eyes. Sakura kneeled to the ground in shock while Sasuke emptied his stomach. Sasuke struggled to look at the Kunoichi. Was that genjutsu? No, that was only killing intent alone. She made us to see an image of death. Who the hell is she? Sasuke called out to his teammate to move, but realized that she was still in shock. Damn it, she was too weak to withstand the intent and now she is frozen. We gotta run or we will die in only a few moments, he thought desperately. The Kusa Kunoichi chuckled cruelly. Kukakuku, you can't move a single muscle, can you? Funny, I thought this was going to be fun. Sasuke struggled to move, armed with a kunai. Come on, just a little bit more. Move. The Kunoichi threw several kunai at them. Blood spattered on the ground. The kunai sent by the Kunoichi missed its intended target. Sasuke wrenched the kunai from his thigh as he set Sakura down, a few feet away from the place they meet the Kunoichi. The unnamed Kunoichi thought, he overcome the fear with pain. I guess I will be able to have more fun. Sasuke thought to himself, this is bad, we need a plan. Where the hell is the Dobi when I need him? He could be used as a meat shield. Finally he found a place to rest and collect his thoughts just as Sakura woke up. Sasuke-kun. Are you ALR? MMPH. Sakura started to say until Sasuke's hand clamped over her mouth. Shish. Sasuke said as he looked to see the Kunoichi, the panic written on his face. This is bad if Sasuke-kun is like this, Sakura thought. Then she squirmed as she saw a snake slithering up the branch, poised to strike Sasuke. Sakura managed to yank Sasuke's hand away and warned him about the snake. Sasuke jumped away and got scared as the snake's eyes flashed an image of the Kunoichi. No! Get away from me! Sasuke shouted as he flung several kunai and shuriken, killing the snake. Then to Sasuke and Sakura's surprise, the Kunoichi appeared out of the dead snake's body. You guys shouldn't let your guard down, after all, prey always do their best when they are threatened by a predator. She appeared behind Sasuke and took his scroll to burn, and then she kicked him away along with Sakura. Next, she proceeded to climb the tree up like a snake until she was stopped by a lone kunai. For a genin, you seem to be more bloodthirsty than the others, primarily close to the level of Gaara's own. Naruto said from above, unless, you are not a genin. The Kunoichi laughed as she reached up to tear off the flesh on her face to reveal that she was, in fact, a he. He had pasty white skin and yellow cat-like eyes with purple markings under him. You are very smart to figure that out, Naruto-kun. Orochimaru. What the hell are you doing here? Isn't it obvious? I am here to test Sasuke-kun's strength, and if he is worthy, I will offer him power. After all, he wants to defeat his brother. Naruto took out his staff and made the spear point appear. Sorry, but I believe that your ambition with Uchiha-san will end here. Harpoon. Orochimaru dodged the thrust, but was knocked in the side by the swing of Naruto's spear. Naruto followed after him and Orochimaru quickly spat out Kusanagi to toy with him as he used one hand to defend himself from Naruto's strikes. When Naruto overextended himself, Orochimaru used the butt of his Jien to knock him aside and shouted, Ninpo. Senichashu. While Naruto was busy with the snakes, Orochimaru made his neck stretched out and bit his prize on the shoulder, causing 3 black comma marks to manifest near his neck. Sasuke. What did you do to him? Sakura shouted. Simple, I gave him a taste of power. When he craves for more, Sasuke-kun will seek me out for power. That I am sure of, the snake Sanin said as he sank into the earth slowly. Then Sasuke began to scream out in pain and Sakura couldn't do anything but hug him tightly until the Uchiha fell unconscious. Naruto rushed over to her and said, Haruno-san, we need to move. No doubt that someone has heard the battle along with Sasuke's screams. Sakura stiffly nodded and left with Sasuke on her back with Naruto in front of her to a new location. Hollow Tree Naruto sat outside, alert for any trouble, and then he asked his conscious teammate, how is he? He has a huge fever. Just what did that Orochimaru guy do to Sasuke-kun? No idea, but he wants something from him. I mean, he could have killed us, even with me in my Dragoon form. He obviously wants Sasuke to continue when he left us alone and we still have our scroll. Actually, earlier, he burned it in his hand just before he showed up. Naruto turned at her. You think that I would have given that scroll up so easily? I made a quick duplicate before we start and gave that one to him just to shut him up since I had a good look at what the scrolls looked like on the outside. Sakura said, so we still have it? Yeah, now get some rest, I will keep watch. The pink-haired girl nodded silently and went to sleep with Naruto meditated, his body asleep and his mind alert. There they are, one of the sound nin said to his teammates, let's get them. No, something isn't right with that blonde kid. Look at him. He is out in the open like a sitting duck. The lanky black-haired ninja turned to look at his heavily bandaged teammate, all the more reason for him to be taken down. He looks quite stupid anyway. Or quite smart, he looks alert, he is probably in a meditative state. We will have to wait until he wakes up and leaves the area to get to Uchiha Sasuke, interjected a black-haired Kunoichi. The sound trio chose to wait until the morning and Naruto got up. looking over Sasuke to see that his fever was slightly down than before. He noticed a squirrel approaching him and said, "Sorry, my little friend, but I have to give you a little scare." He launched a kunai in front of the cute animal and watched it scamper off in the distance. He took out his retractable staff and said, "You three, you can come out now." The sound trio came out in the open and the bandaged one said, "See? I told you that he was smart." "Shut up, Dosu." The lanky teen retorted. "Excuse me, but may I ask your names?" The lanky ninja said, "I am Zaku Abumates, Dosu Kinuda and Kinsuchi, also known as your executioners. We're here to fight Sasuke Uchiha, so wake him up now." "Sorry, but I will have to fail to acquiesce to your request. It appears that your master Orochimaru has done something to my teammate." The sound trio flinched back in surprise and the Jinchuriki continued. "Judging by your reactions, you were not informed of this change in plans, which means that your master just sees you as pawns to be sacrificed to get a special piece. I don't believe you. Tell me, are there others with a cursed seal on their neck in your village? If so, you must know how strong they are along with that power, and I guess that Sasuke has a pretty good chance of dying by that seal." Naruto deduced. "I am tired of your babbling, Zankuha, Fuuten. K's no tate." A dome of wind blocked Zaku's attack and Naruto said, "Interesting." "Naruto, what is going on?" Sakura called out from the hollow tree and Naruto called back to her, "Haruno-san, stay right where you are, I will handle this." Zaku said, "Why you?" He started to charge, but Dosu said, "Zaku, wait, he hasn't moved an inch from his spot, which means that he is hiding something." Naruto scowled as Dosu knelt at the edge to reveal a covering as he said, "A trap is useless when it is noticed." "Yeah, but like you said earlier, I am smart," Naruto said as he cut a wire behind him and it released a senbon launcher where Dosu had uncovered his trap and several of them lodged into his chest. A trap is useless when it is seen, but it is useful when it comes down to a trap hidden within a trap. Dosu yanked them out and said, "Why you?" Suddenly his body stiffened and he said, What? My B-body, I can't feel my chakra, or move." He thought to himself as he fell to the ground. The poison in some of the senbon disrupts your chakra and the other few locks your muscles, leaving you weak and defenseless, plus I can't have you using that amplifier gauntlet of yours," Naruto said as he activated his staff into spear mode. "You will pay for that. Take this, Zankukyua," Zaku shouted as he raised his hands at Naruto and a large blast of air pressure shot towards Team 7 and Zaku said arrogantly, "And that takes care of that." "You think so, huh?" Zaku and Kin were shocked to see that a winged version of Naruto is in front of them with his back turned since he used his wings to block the attack from Sakura and the sleeping Sasuke. "What the hell are you?" Kin shouted. Ever-changing as the wind, Naruto Uzumaki, the Jade Dragoon. He hovered in the air and made his spear become two swords, then he launched himself at Zaku and took him in the air with him. Next, Zaku found himself in the air, suspending as Naruto cut into him as he passed by him. Kin chose to claim the objective by going over to the downed Sasuke and she was launched away with the loud cry of Konoha Senpu. Sakura looked up and said, "Lee-san." The green spandex man finished by going in his initial stance with the squirrel on his shoulder. "I told you before. I will protect you with my life, Sakura-chan." Kin launched senbon at him as she charged, "Out of the way, freak." "Sorry, but that is not happening," Lee replied as he took out a kunai to block them and gave her a punch to the gut as he pocketed it in his holster. Just then Zaku finally was allowed to fall to the floor, groaning in pain, and Naruto aimed one of his swords at his throat. "Do you surrender? Oh, by the way, your friend over there will not be able to get his chakra back for about 2 hours." Zaku gritted his teeth and said, "Fine, I surrender." "Good." Naruto put his staff back together and turned to walk off, only to knock Zaku out with the butt of it. "I will leave you along with your life intact." He placed the retractable staff back in his pouch and walked to a scowling Dosu to get the scroll from his pouch. "Well, aren't we lucky? We got a Earth Scroll, now we get out of this forsaken forest." Just then a sinister purple chakra shot through the sky and Naruto looked to see that it was emanating from Sasuke. His Sharingan was activated and black flame marks appeared on the left side of his body. "He actually survived," Dosu said in disbelief. "So you were right, we were used as pawns." Kin was sent by the fallen form of Dosu and Naruto said, "Kin-san, wasn't it?" I need you to take your teammates out of here. I have a feeling that my teammate as he is now will not be so nice to you as I have been. Kin nodded and grabbed his teammates to run away, and Sasuke moved towards them only to see Naruto in front of him. Out of the way, Dobi. The Uchiha said, those three are going to be the test dummies of my new power. No, they aren't, Naruto whispered, and he pressed the button on his retractable staff again. The butt of it slammed into the Uchiha's solar plexus, knocking him out. And nor will they ever be, the Jinchuriki finished. He turned to them and said, contact me if you need help. I have a feeling that Orochimaru doesn't approve failure from his pawns. Dosu said, don't worry, we will be joining you after the exams, Naruto-san. With that, the sound trio left the area and Naruto walked over to Lee. Thanks for helping us out, Lee. The genin flashed a bright smile. No worries, Naruto. It is my honor to help you out and protect the beautiful Sakura. Naruto nodded and said, you better find your teammates. I am sure that they are worried about you. Well, Tenten-san at least. I am not sure that Neji has a heart to care for others just yet. Lee nodded and left after saying goodbye to Sakura. Alright, Sakura, let's go to the tower, we got both scrolls. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. Two clones appeared and one of them took the unconscious Uchiha on his back while Naruto and Sakura, along with the other clone, surrounded him in a triangular formation. Within several hours, Team 7 reached the tower and there was a plaque on the wall with a quote from Hiruzen Sarutobi. If you have earth and heaven, I think we need to open the scrolls. Sakura suggested and Naruto nodded. Yeah. The proctor said not to open them until we reached the tower. He took out the two scrolls and handed one to Sakura. The two opened them to find the kanji for person, and Naruto said, drop them, it is a summoning. The two genin threw the scrolls in a corner and out of the smoke came Iruka Amino, their old sensei. Hey, guys, long time no see, Iruka said. Iruka sensei, what are you doing here? The Chunin were assigned to greet the genin that passed and luckily, I was assigned to appear before you three. Looks like you have made it early, congratulations, you have passed the second test. Naruto and Sakura sat down, exhaling a sigh of relief. But Iruka sensei, what were you going to do to us if we opened the scrolls too early? I would have to knock you three out and disqualify you from the exams. The Chunin answered and then he looked at the plaque. I bet that you were wondering about the quote that Sandaime Sama had said before, correct? The two nodded and Iruka said, Earth represents the body and heaven represents the mind. If you don't have earth, much like you, Sakura, you would have to train your hardest to get stronger, and if you don't have heaven, you have to train your mind. When you have both, then you will be unstoppable. Now I will escort you three to your rooms. Naruto went to walk around the tower after resting for the past 3 days until finally a Chunin appeared in front of him. Uzumaki-san, it is time for you to be escorted and join the remaining genin for the third phase, she said. Understood, Chunin-san, Naruto replied and allowed the female Chunin to escort him to the arena, where he saw all of the genin lined up by their team. Sasuke glared at him as expected. Team Dosu stared at him just as Kiba gave him a hateful glare while Hinata gave him a smile. Now we can begin. I would like to welcome you all to the third phase of the Chunin exams and congratulations on passing the second phase. Anko stated before she thought to herself, T-pressive, I was actually expecting single digits and most of these grunts are rookies fresh from the academy. Hiruzen stepped forward. Thank you, Anko-san. Now before we begin the next phase, I would like to inform you all about the true reason of this exam. Hinata thought in a confused manner, the true reason? The Hokage continued, to promote companionship between the nations. No, the truth is that this exam is a technical war between our countries, which is the true reason. Tenten chose that moment to speak up. Wait, just what does that exactly mean? The elder Sarutobi tilted his hat over his head. If we were to simply go back in time, all of the hidden villages would be in disarray and chaos, constant war against each other. In order to preserve the peace, this exam was devised to solve our problem. Kiba shouted in protest, so why are we fighting for? Isn't this damn exam made to decide the rank of Chunin? Hiruzen nodded in agreement. Indeed it is, but it also has a dark side. You all will be risking your lives for your respected village's reputation. If you are weak in front of the ones watching the exam, which are other leaders and influential individuals, your village will lose client. Every daimyo will also be there. Furthermore, it gives a political message to other countries to show their strength. The Inuzuka replied, But I still don't understand why do we do have to risk our lives in battle for? Merely simple, your country's strength relies on your village's strength, in turn, relies on the shinobi's, and the greatest strength of the shinobi is shown at its peak when in danger. This exam is to show off your own strength, which only will have meaning when your life is at risk. This is a battle where all of your dreams and your country's prestige hangs in the balance. Soon a sickly-looking Jonin appeared next to the Hokage. Pardon me, Hokage-sama, if I may interrupt, but as the referee of the third phase, I would like to explain the rules if you will allow me to do so, he said humbly. By your leave, Hayate-san. The sickly Jonin turned to address the crowd of genin. Hello, I am Hayate Gecko. Now before we begin, I would like to do something since this is a preliminary round to decide who fights in the main event. Shikamaru cried out, what? Why? Simply because there are too many of you. Therefore, according to the said rules, we must hold a preliminary round to reduce the number of combatants for the third phase. So for those of you who would like to quit at this moment, please raise your hand. For a few moments, the air was tense until a hand rose up. I would like to quit. Hayate coughed. Okay. Kabuto Yakushi, right? You may leave then. The speculated male left, hiding his smirk. Looks like my work here is done, since you are here, Orochimaru-sama. He thought as he glanced at the snake Sennin, disguised as the Otto Jonin. I can't wait to see what power the Uchiha can show with our handicap planted on him. The spy said with his smirk on his face as he walked away. The Hokage leaned over to Anko. Who is he? Anko replied in a hushed tone. That is Kabuto Yakushi. He was found by the Anbu head doctor at the Battle of Kikyo Pass. So he is that child? Hayate coughed. So no more retiring then? Nobody moved from their positions, and then the Jonin said, okay, then let's, continue the preliminaries. This preliminary will consist of one-on-one fighting. You will basically fight as if you are in a real-life confrontation. Since we now have an even number, we will conduct 10 matches and obviously the winners will proceed to the third test. Rules: there are no rules, the fight continues until one of you is dead, unconscious, or I declare the winner of the match and the object that controls your destiny is. Anko muttered in her mic, open it. A wooden panel opened up to reveal an electric scoreboard. Now let's announce the first match. Hayate said with a cough. The scoreboard began to flash through names as the genin looked on in anticipation. Suddenly the scoreboard stopped on two names, Uchiha Sasuke versus Yoroi Akato. Sakura was torn at the sudden selection. No way, right off the bat, Sasuke-kun has to fight. Hayate said, will everyone but the two entrants please exit the stage? Are you two ready? Both of them nodded to each other without making eye contact. Sasuke's eye twitched at a wave of pain. The seal is acting up again. Yoroi thought, hey, it seems that Orochimaru-sama's seal still hurts him. Lee thought as he clenched his fist in anticipation, good luck, Sasuke. Neji looked at him intently, a chance to watch his abilities. Kakashi watched past Sasuke as he said, Sasuke, I know about the cursed seal, and just so you know, if it activates, I will stop the match. Sasuke thought, shit, I can't use Sharingan or my normal jutsu. Hayate said, now, begin. Yoroi did the Tora sign. Are you ready? His right hand glowed ablaze with chakra as his left had reached into his pouch. Sasuke reached in his holster. Yoroi flicked them at the Uchiha. But the Uchiha did an overhand strike with his kunai, sending the projectiles back at him. Then the seal decided to throb and Sasuke fell down to the ground. Yoroi saw the opportunity and acts by moving towards Sasuke. He aimed his right hand to smash Sasuke's head, but the Uchiha rolled to the side and slammed the kunai point into the ground. Then he tripped Yoroi using his feet, then maneuvered him into a wrestling move, threatening to break his arm. But Yoroi's hand grabbed Sasuke's shirt and Sasuke felt his strength fading away fast. His grip on Yoroi's arm slipped and Yoroi elbowed Sasuke in the gut, and then flipped up into a kneeling position. Sasuke thought, what was that? My strength just suddenly. The weird ninja then moved toward the fallen Avenger, causing Sakura to shout in alarm. Sasuke looked up to see Yoroi's chakra-infused hand clamped on his head, and the Uchiha began to feel weaker and weaker. You, my chakra, Sasuke said. Yoroi chuckled, so you finally noticed, it's about time. Orochimaru thought, Yoroi's special ability is that he can suck chakra, rendering the person useless and weak by a touch of his hand. When he sucks all of your chakra, you will have no choice but to release the cursed seal. Now unleash its beautiful power. Sasuke moved his leg to prop it against Yoroi. Damn, you. Yoroi was kicked away and skidded away, so, it seems that you still have power left? Yoroi charged again, having Sasuke dodge the swipes of his hand. Sasuke aimed a roundhouse kick at him, but Yoroi jumped over and landed away from him. Sasuke thought desperately, if he tries to touch me one more time, I am done for and he will try to get in close combat with me. What do I do? Gaara thought, is that all you have, Uchiha Sasuke? Sasuke looked to see Naruto and Lee on the balcony. That's it, I know what to do, he thought. Yoroi charged at Sasuke. It's over, Uchiha. But the next move surprised everyone, especially Lee, as Sasuke used the same move that Lee used on him. Naruto inwardly growled, bastard, copying Lee's move without permission. Sasuke appeared behind Yoroi, though from here, it's all original from here. Sasuke said, it's over. The Uchiha poked him in the back and the opposing ninja recognized the move, Kage Buyu. Now the seal chose the time to act up and the marks began to spread all over his body. Damn it, I will not let this thing consume me, he thought, making his will push back the cursed seal. The seal is returning, Enko thought in shock. Orochimaru scowled at the predicament as Sasuke pushed off of Yoroi's back and aimed a kick at Yoroi's right side. Yoroi blocked the kick and scoffed, not enough. Sasuke grimaced and used the momentum of his kick to aim a punch to his unguarded left side. Kakashi said, not enough, Yoroi's head snapped downwards, but Sasuke did not relent. Get back here. The Uchiha shouted as he used his right arm to catch his opponent in the chest, and moments before Yoroi hit the GTO land a kick in the chest as he shouted, there's more. Renden. Yoroi's head snapped upwards to cough up blood and he was knocked unconscious. Sasuke slid to the side before coming to a complete stop. Then the Uchiha struggled to get up as Hayate declared, winner, Uchiha Sasuke. Sasuke fell backwards, tiredly, only for Kakashi to catch him with his foot. Sakura smiled, he did it, the Wind Dragoon replied, yeah, but couldn't he have done it without that? Lee thought, I see, so that's your ability. You were able to copy only a part of my technique by seeing it once. What a person you are, Sasuke, you will get stronger and stronger. Guy thought, mastering a part of the lotus is impossible without proper training. Even with the Sharingan, it is not something that can be perfected that quickly, and the creativity of his move, he reminds me of you, Kakashi. Tenten thought, the last year's rookie, Neji Hyuga, and this year's rookie, Sasuke Uchiha. I wonder which one is stronger. Kakashi said, now let's get that curse sealed up now. Sasuke said, can you wait until the prelims are over? I want to observe the matches. Kakashi said, don't worry, I'm sure your teammates and I will tell you all about them and their techniques. They shined away as the screen flashed to reveal the next match. Hayate coughed, will cough Abumi Zaku and cough Aburame Shino please come down. Zaku said, who the hell is this loser? This will be easier than I thought. Shino quietly walked down the stairs to the arena. Hayate shouted, Hajime. Shino spoke to Zaku in monotone, if you fight here, you will never fight again, it would be best if you forfeit. Zaku's left arm twitched a bit and he began to move, it seems that this one can move a bit, but I only need one arm to kick your weird ass. Zaku flew at Shino, but the Aburame brought his arm to block Zaku's strike. Zaku cursed, damn it, Shino replied, it is useless, you can't beat me with just one arm. Zaku retorted, shut the fuck up. Take this. Zaku's hand opened to reveal his airhole, Zankuha. The blow hit Shino full force in the head and Shino rolled on the ground, smoking. He. Zaku chuckled with a smirk, hey, get your ass up. Shino slowly got up and revealed something that Zaku was slightly disturbed. What the Auto Nin saw was that Shino had bugs crawling under his skin, literally. What the? He has bugs from inside his body, Zaku thought to himself. Then he heard a multitude of noises behind and turned to see an army of bugs behind him. Shino explained, they are called Kakaichu bugs. They attack in numbers and consume chakra. Like I said, if this many behind you get you, you'll never be a ninja ever again. If you don't want that, then you should give up. Zaku glared at him for putting him in this predicament. Shino pushed up his shades. If you decide to attack me with your arm, then the bugs will get you, and if you attack my bugs, I attack you. Zaku cursed loudly. Damn, Shino said. You should always save your trump card at the last moment. Zaku thought as images from his past of the meeting with Orochimaru came into view. I can't continue to fail. Zaku shouted. Don't mess with me. Zaku pulled his right arm out as he declared in a proud voice. Hey, you should always have a trump card at the last moment, right? Kiba shouted. What? He can use his right arm too. Dosu thought. So it was all an act that his right arm was completely useless. Hey, good one, Zaku. Zaku shouted. Take this. Suddenly his arms imploded and one of them fell to the ground. Zaku looked at it in shock as he saw Kakaichu coming out of the air tubes. Shino came behind Zaku as he said, when I told you to give up, I sent some of them to close your dangerous air holes with their bodies. That is a true trump card. Zaku shouted, you bastard. He sent a punch, but the Aburame ducked and backhanded Zaku. Hayate declared, Shosha. Aburame Shino. Sasuke and Kakashi. Don't worry, it will be over soon. Kakashi said. Fuja Hoin. He placed his hand on his shoulder and the markings surrounding Sasuke came onto his body and encircled the cursed seal. Now that seal relies on your willpower. Sasuke, if your will waver for even a second, that seal will run wild. Sasuke fell over, exhausted and unconscious. So you can use sealing jutsu now, huh, Kakashi? Kakashi's lone eye widened. That voice, he slowly turned around to see Orochimaru. You mind handing the boy behind you? Kakashi accused. What do you want with Sasuke? Orochimaru said. The same thing that you have implanted in your left eye, you should understand after that. Then I will come for the Uchiha blood. Kakashi said. You will never get Sasuke. I see that one of them did quite a number on you. Orochimaru sneered. Yes, the Kyuubi boy I underestimated quite a bit, but soon my village, Otto, will become great, but I can't get that without using a couple of pawns. Kakashi said. Sasuke is just one of those pawns. Orochimaru said. Oh no, Sasuke is a very important piece, but the guys taking the test are also my pawns. Kakashi charged up his rakery. If you attempt to get either one, I will kill you, Orochimaru. I don't care if you are one of the Sannin. Orochimaru laughed. It will not work, Kakashi. Sasuke will eventually come to me to seek power. After all, he is an avenger. The snake Sennin walked away while he left Kakashi an image of his head being decapitated. Arena, next match is Masumi Tsurugi versus Kankuro, Hayate called out. Kankuro said, hey, this will be easy enough. Baki, the sensei of Team Gaara, said, Kankuro, don't get cocky. Kankuro pretended that he didn't hear him at all and continued to the arena. Tamari muttered, that idiot is going to get himself killed. Kankuro stood and faced Masumi, Yoro's teammate. Masumi said, just throw the match or I'll kill you. Kankuro said, sorry, but I plan on winning this match. Hayate shouted, begin. Kankuro started things off by throwing a punch to Masumi's face, but the Konoha spy blocked it with his forearm and then something weird happened. Masumi's arm twisted around Kankuro's arm, startling him and allowing Masumi to constrict himself all over Kankuro's body. You see, my bloodline allows me to dislocate my bones and become like rubber. Now forfeit the match or your neck will snap. Kankuro grinned and said, never. Masumi squeezed tighter and tighter until everyone heard Kankuro's neck snap. God damn it, I really didn't want to kill him. Suddenly Kankuro's face started to peel off like ceramic. Then Kankuro lifted his head and turned it completely around to reveal that the person Masumi was holding was not a person, but a marionette. Now it is my turn, the puppet said in Kankuro's voice. Next, the puppet's arms sprang from the catsuit and wrapped around Masumi's body. A puppet. Then where is, Masumi said. Then he looked toward the bandages to see something moving and a hand popped out to remove it, revealing Kankuro. You're a puppet master, Masumi said in disbelief. Kankuro said, that is correct and now I will return the favor, but I won't break your neck, instead I will break everything else. Kankuro clenched his fist and the puppet crushed Masumi's bones and making him scream out in pain before falling unconscious. Like I said before, way too easy, Kankuro said. Hayate thought, that was close, I almost called the match too soon. Kankuro walked back upstairs while the medics came and carried Masumi's broken body to the hospital. The board flashed once again as Naruto commented, "This exam has a bunch of interesting people here." Kakashi replied, "You are one to talk, Naruto." "Hee, good one." Sakura laughed lightly and then Kakashi said, "This is no time for laughing, Sakura." "Why?" "Because you are fighting Ino," Naruto said as he aimed his thumb at the board. Ino and Sakura looked at the board in surprise and the two kunoichi walked down the stairs to stand in front of each other. Match 4. Sakura Haruno vs Ino Yamanaka, begin. "Sakura, I never tay fighting you so soon," Ino said, and then Sakura reached up to her headband and took it off. What?" Naruto said. "She may not look like it, but Ino is exceptional among the kunoichi. But I wonder if she will be able to go all out against Sakura." Asuma thought to himself. Shikamaru said, "Those two? Looks like this will get annoying." "Is Ino going to be alright?" Shoji asked. The young Sarutobi thought, "Yeah, Ino. What will you do?" Sakura said, "Right now, I have no intention of fighting over Sasuke-kun with you." "What was that?" "You and Sasuke-kun don't go together anyway and I am completely stronger than you right now. I don't need to be concerned with you." "Sakura, who do you think you are talking to? Don't get ahead of yourself, crybaby Sakura." Naruto said with a raised eyebrow. "Sakura is taking this a little bit too far. Ino-san looks very pissed off right now." Kakashi said, Sakura isn't the type to brag about her strength or hurt others willingly. The main guess is that she wants Ino to take her seriously and don't show any mercy." The Haruno thought as she stared into the pale blue eyes of Ino Yamanaka. "Ino, I have always believed those words you told me. I always hoped they were true. I wanted to be like you, you were my goal and thanks to you, I am here. That's why, Ino, I want this to be an all-out fight. Unless I really surpass you, it's meaningless." "Why are they acting all serious like that?" Naruto asked and his brother said, "It's a standoff between the two of them, sort of like your rivalry with Sasuke. They're battling to see who is stronger and more worthy of winning Sasuke's heart." Ino then smirked as she took her headband from her waist. "I get it, Sakura, all-out battle." They both tied their headband onto their forehead and Sakura started things off with a jutsu. "Just a bunshin no jutsu," Ino thought. The Yamanaka declared, "This is not the academy graduation exam. You think that you can beat me with a textbook jutsu like that?" Then she thought, "If I just look closely, I can figure out which one is the real one." Sakura smiled as she directed chakra to her feet and sped in front of Ino's widened eyes, causing Ino to lose track of her and get a punch in the face. "If you think that I am the same crybaby Sakura, then you will be hurting. Get serious, Ino." "I'm glad you said that," Ino said as she wiped her cheek. "As you wish, here I come." HMPH, looks like she is using that exercise we learned in Wave in spades. After all, she is the best one on our team when it comes to chakra control. Naruto commented. Lee gripped his fist as he thought, "Beautiful movement, Sakura-san." Sakura and Ino were struggling in a stand still as Naruto said. Although Sakura has gotten a bit stronger with her stamina, Ino has been training as well. They look evenly matched and it is possible that they may beat themselves to a standstill. Sakura is at a disadvantage. She is against Ino, who has access to her clan jutsu, the Shintenshin no Jutsu. If she finds some way to trap her, she is done. But on the bright side, Sakura is quick and she can think on her feet almost as fast as you, Naruto. Kakashi said logically. Naruto commented, "Yeah, with the right motivation. Now if only we can make her kick her habit of trying to hit me and stalking Uchiha as well as making Uchiha less demanding of others." Kakashi replied, "Beggars can't be choosers." 10 minutes later, the two of them were still going at it and Ino shouted, "There is no way you could be even with me." Sakura retorted hotly, "Hey, of course. How could I be even someone who worries about growing their hair and looking pretty? You better stop disrespecting me, idiot. Letting that trash talk get to you. I don't know what she's gonna do." Shikamaru chided. "I don't like that Ino," Shoji commented fearfully. Ino took her kunai and cut off her ponytail while Sakura chuckled. "Hee, so simple." The Yamanaka casted her hair to the floor and said, "I don't need this. I am going to end this right now. I will make you say, 'Give up,' from your very own mouth." "That hand sign?" Shikamaru stared at Ino in disbelief. Shoji said, "It can't be." I can sympathize with your desperation, but that is useless, Sakura said. Bah, we will see about that. Ino replied. Shintenshin no Jutsu, a jutsu known only to the Yamanaka clan. By using your spiritual energy and projecting at an opponent, you can take control over their body for a few minutes, but the downside is that spiritual projection moves at a slow pace, and if you miss, your body will be an inanimate doll for a few minutes, leaving you vulnerable. So what? We won't know until we try. Suddenly there was silence in the air and Sakura moved to the side while Ino shouted, Ninpo. Shintenshin no Jutsu. Both bodies stopped and their heads hung in the air as Shikamaru asked himself, which one? Hee, too bad, Ino. Sakura said. Then the girl tried to move, but she looked down to see that she was caught in Ino's hair. You fell for it, Sakura. It was all an act. This is a special rope using my hair and chakra. Now since you can't move at the moment, I will be ending this duel. Ninpo. Shintenshin no Jutsu. This time, Sakura's psyche was suppressed by Ino's own and Ino. Sakura raised her hand as she said, I, Haruno Sakura, would like to. Naruto suddenly shouted, I can't believe this. Ino looked at Naruto as she thought, what the hell is he doing? No wonder Sasuke will never love you at all. You suck as a kunoichi and he doesn't tolerate weak kunoichi. Sakura, something that you are if you lose to this one. It is all useless. She can't hear you at all. I won this match, Ino thought, and then she felt a shiver run down her spine. What? This sensation. Geez, Naruto is so annoying, but he is right. I can't lose here. There is too much at stake here. What? Sakura? No way, Ino, Sakura thought as she clutched at her head. Hayate asked, hey, what's the matter? Do you want to forfeit or not? Sakura took control as she shouted, like hell I'll forfeit. The proctor thought, which one is in control now? Ino thought, no way. My jutsu failed. Then the inner Sakura grabbed Ino and began to squeeze her. Ino, if you don't get the hell out of my body, I swear to Kami you will be sorry. Shikamaru then said, huh? What is wrong with Ino? Ino released the jutsu and the two opponents reanimated, breathing hard. You have two minds, what are you? Ino asked. Her rival replied, don't you know? Women have to be tough to survive or they will not making out in the real world. Soon the two got up once again for one last hit as they charged at each other, thinking, this is the end. The punches knocked off their headbands and the two skidded away from each other. Hayate waited for a moment for the two get up and declared, both fighters are unable to battle. Thus the fourth match will be a double knockout, neither advances. Looks like even Sakura has gotten a little stronger as well. Many things have happened, but I am glad that I entered them in the Chunin exams, Kakashi thought to himself. The board flashed to reveal the new fighters, who were Tenten and Temari. The Konoha girl smirked with confidence to be in the finals and she walked down the stairs to face Temari, who was wearing a confident smirk of her own on her face. Are the contestants ready? Lee shouted, good luck, Tenten. Neji murmured, now, the second member of the Sand team, this could be interesting. Both of the kunoichis nodded in confirmation and Hayate chopped down his hand. Now match 5. Tenten vs Sabaku no Temari, begin. Tenten and Temari both jumped back to get some distance between each other. The weapons mistress threw kunai at the wind mistress, but Temari gathered wind-natured chakra to block the kunai away from her. Tenten said, what? But that attack was right on. Naruto thought, she is using wind manipulation. Bad matchup for Tenten. She has absolutely no chance in winning unless she has a fire jutsu. Since Gai Nei in respect of Lee and Tenten desperately wants to be a weapons specialist, Senpei may lose this one. Temari unclasped her fan and opened it up to reveal a purple moon on the fan. This is the first moon, girl. When you see all three, the match will be over. Tenten gritted her teeth as she racked her brain. How is she doing that? She is not using any hand signs or nothing, but yet my attacks can get through. Tenten ran at Temari and threw kunai at all directions as she thought, this should work. But again the attack failed and Temari swung her fan to blow back Tenten and her weapons. You are on the second moon, sister. Look, it's over. Your weapons aren't effective against my style, which has been proven twice, Temari said. Tenten unclasped the two scrolls on her hips and Lee said quietly, Tenten, you are not thinking of using that technique, aren't you? Tenten thought, I have no choice. This move should be able to pierce that wind defense of hers. I can't lose here. There is someone that I want to fight here. Tenten placed the two scrolls apart from each other and bit her thumb, drawing blood. Well, like they always say, the third time is the charm. So sure you, she shouted. The two scrolls burst and twirled around Tenten. She flew up and levitated in the middle. She grabbed one of the scrolls in air and began to flip in around her until the scroll unfurled around her. Then she swiped her blood on the markings, making various weapons popped out in existence. Just then Sakura woke up and Ino said, "You are finally awake, huh, Sakura?" Sakura looked down sadly. "I lost." Her rival chuckled a bit. "PFT, I should be the one who wants to cry, to tie with the likes of you." "Huh?" Ino said nothing. Then she handed Sakura her headband with a smile. "Here, by the way, you did make it bloom into a beautiful flower, Sakura." Sakura whispered, "Ino." Then she smiled and happily tied her headband to hold her hair back. "But next time we fight, you won't come out of it with just being knocked out, and plus, I have absolutely no intention of handing Sasuke-kun over to you," Ino said slyly. "That line, I return it back to you." They began a lightning staring match and then turned away with their heads to the other side and their arms crossed. Then Tenten threw the weapons one by one at Temari, who swung her fan to make the weapons blow off course and stab or fall on the ground around her. Tenten smirked and brought her hands back to her body, and to everyone's surprise, the weapons came back to her. Kakashi thought, "Very clever, she used wires to attack to the weapons, clever girl that guy got." Temari said, "Sorry, today is not your day, you lose, princess." Temari swung her fan while shouting, "Ninpo! Kamaitachi no Jutsu!" The weapons were blown back once again and Tenten was trapped in a wind cyclone, where she was slashed up by invisible blades of wind. Tenten fell to the ground and Temari let her fall onto her fan's blunt end. "No way," Lee whispered, and then Neji commented, "Tenten's weapon attacks were rendered useless." "How boring." Temari commented. "What is up with her?" Naruto asked, and Hiruzen thought, "The genin from the sand are dangerous this year." Next, Temari smirked as Hayate declared her the winner and she moved to throw Tenten away, but Naruto moved to catch her. "Nice catch," Temari said, but Naruto didn't reply as he set Tenten down gingerly, and then he glared at Temari. "If you ever do that to another opponent again, I swear, you will not be swinging that fan of yours once I am done shredding your arms apart." Temari visibly flinched as she thought, "Those eyes, they are just like Gaara's." The sand girl scoffed and tried to play cool, but she slightly shivered as she felt those cold eyes on his back as she walked up the stairs. Then Hayate had several ninjas take Tenten's scrolls to seal back her weapons into them. Then the board flashed to reveal the next fighters, which were Shikamaru, Nara and Kintsuchi. The lazy genius sighed, "Me, huh?" Soon the two opponents faced each other and Shikamaru commented, "Man, this sucks. Plus it is tough fighting against a girl." Kin sneered as she said, "Then I will end it quickly." Shikamaru's blonde teammate cheered, "Don't lose, Shikamaru." "She is sure cheerful," Shoji thought as he looked at her. Shikamaru thought as he stared at Kin. "Well, this is quite a predicament. I have no idea what her abilities are, but on the bright side, she doesn't know mine and I only have one jutsu." Match 6. Shikamaru Nara vs Kintsuchi. Hayate shouted, "You may begin." Shikamaru thought as he made the rat seal, "This is all I have, Kagemane no Jutsu." His shadow grew and shot toward Kin, who dodged it as she thought, "Whatever that jutsu does, I really don't want to know what he will do." "Damn it, Kagemane no Jutsu," Kin thought. He did it again, which possibly means that it is the only jutsu in his arsenal. She declared, "You are a one-trick pony, aren't you? All I have to do is watch your shadow and I will have nothing to fear at all." She launched Senbon at Shikamaru, who ducked under them and heard a sound from behind. He turned briefly to see that bells were attached to the end and he smirked, "That is an old trick. Next, you will throw one with a bell and the other without one, making me dodge the first one when I react to the sound and don't notice the second one. Stab, right?" Kin replied, "You sure like to talk. This should be easy enough, just avoid the needles." Suddenly the male ninja heard something behind him and he turned to see that there was string attached to the previous bells. Crap, she was using the string to ring the bells. Too late. Kin shouted as she threw her designated throwing weapons and Shikamaru fell to the ground as he was struck by it. "If I dodge your shadow, there is nothing that you can do. And now for the coup de grace," the kunoichi said with a cruel smirk. Suddenly her body struggled to move as she tried to figure out what was going on, and Shikamaru got up with a grin on his face. Kagemane no Jutsu success. What are you talking about? I don't see your shadow anywhere. You haven't noticed yet? Shikamaru said as he yanked out the senbon from his shoulder and arm. No way, exactly, idiot. A string at that height can't produce a shadow. I can lengthen, shrink and freely control my shadow, though there is a limit. Damn it, she thought, the shadow is getting fatter and fatter, so this wasn't the shadow of the string. Yup. I made my shadow really skinny to make it look like it was being cast by the string and attached it to you. Shikamaru said as he took out a shuriken from his holster, making Kin do the same, and she shouted in protest, "Are you crazy? Both of us are locked in the same movements. If you attack, you will get hurt too." Tell me something I don't know. You aren't. We will keep throwing shurikens to see how long we can last, Shikamaru said as he launched his throwing star. You fool, Kin said as she released her own. As the shuriken came closer and closer to their head, Kin thought, bah, he is just bluffing. She suddenly put her body in a back bend to have her head slammed into the wall, and Shikamaru said, hey, one down. If you are a shinobi, then you should fight with the knowledge of your surroundings, even if we move the same. The shuriken was just a ploy to keep you from noticing how close you were to the wall. Winner. Shikamaru Nara, declared Hayate. Kiba thought, okay, the guys left are that other sound nin. Me, Hinata, Naruto, Neji, Lee, Choji, and that sand guy. Please, but anyone but him. Neji glanced over at Hinata. This year's rookies will be fun to fight against, Hayate said as the scoreboard flashed. Now the next match. It revealed the next two names, which were Naruto Uzumaki and Kiba Inuzuka. Haha, lucky. We can definitely beat him, Akamaru, Kiba declared, and his dog barked in agreement. Match 7. Naruto Uzumaki vs Kiba Inuzuka, begin. Hayate declared before moving away. Film particular was going to be more than just a match. The Inuzuka growled out, finally, I get to kick your ass without any repercussions on my part. I will show Hinata my strength and destroy you while proving her wrong. The Jinchuriki sighed in exasperation. Kiba. Regardless if you defeat me or not this day, Hinata will still love whoever she pleases, and neither you nor I can ever change that. You don't deserve her. You are right, I don't. Naruto smiled sadly, but then again, no man does at all. She is the most amazing person that I have ever met, and I still can't wrap my head around the fact that she still loves me after the 6 years that passed. The 6 years that I have been gone. Naruto moved into the four gods stance. I will fight you, Kiba, not only for you to stop looking at Hinata as a possession, but also to show you that life will never be perfect and that you need to open your eyes to the truth that nothing will be given to you on a silver platter. You are acting just like the Uchiha. Kiba shouted, enough talk. Ninpo. Shikyaku no Jutsu. The feral boy crouched down on all fours, his limbs covered with chakra, and attacked the Jinchuriki in a fast charge, but Naruto waited at the last moment to turn to the side to deliver a double-fisted punch to Kiba's ribs. Kiba flew back into the wall and crumpled to the ground in pain while Naruto moved into another set of the four gods style. Are you finished, Kiba Inuzuka, or do you want more punishment? Kiba got up again and shouted, don't you dare underestimate me, you pretentious bastard. Kiba sent a flurry of fury swipes with his claws, and Naruto dodged each one with ease before stating in monotone, fairy of sticks. With a combination of punches and kicks, the Jinchuriki pounded Kiba's body relentlessly and once again sent the Inuzuka flying back. The Inuzuka grew furious and his eyes changed, making him out more like a beast than a man. Akamaru, to me. Kiba shouted out angrily, and Akamaru had no choice but to obey his friend due to the loyalty he had. Akamaru sprang out to attack Naruto, who caught the dog by the scruff of his neck. I commend your loyalty to your brother in arms, Akamaru. But this is a battle between me and him. I will not allow an innocent to be harmed by his friend's idiotic orders. He looked at Akamaru. I apologize for this, Akamaru, please forgive me. Raiden. Hiraishin. Akamaru yelped in pain as he was shocked into unconsciousness, and then the Jinchuriki moved to give Akamaru to Kurenai. But Kiba appeared in front of him. Stop ignoring me, you damn ass. He never got to finish his sentence as Naruto gave him a stunning back fist to the cheek. Successfully, he gave Kurenai the dog and came back on the scene where Kiba got up, pissed off. Not only Naruto had took out Akamaru, but most of his techniques and ninjutsu were limited because of it, while Naruto still had many aces up his sleeve. Damn you! Kiba cried out in sheer rage as he charged his opponent, Suga. The brash Inuzuka turned in a whirling cyclone of anger, attacking the resident Jinchuriki relentlessly. Naruto dodged as best as he could, but due to the unpredictability of the raging cyclone's trajectory, Kiba had got some hits in, causing deep gashes and lacerations on Naruto's chest and legs. I am going to tear you apart. This ends now. You will disappear. Inuzuka Kinjutsu. Yaju Modo Henge. Kiba shouted as he flipped through hand signs, ending with the dog sign. Naruto watched in surprise as Kiba kneeled down to the ground, his clothes ripping off and his face grew into a muzzle of shaggy, black fur. His eyes turned dark red. Kiba Inuzuka became a werewolf with pitch black fur, and Naruto commented, "Well, this is a problem now." Kiba raised his head and let loose an ear-shattering howl, blasting the whole arena with a shockwave. His roar, the sound of his voice is this powerful? I will have to be serious about this or I will get killed. The Jinchuriki thought to himself. Suddenly the werewolf disappeared and reappeared in front of him, while Naruto thought, son of a. At that time, Kiba has already slammed his paw against Naruto's head and a dust cloud arose where Naruto was at. Naruto! Hinata cried out in worry, and Kurenai thought to herself, gritting her teeth, damn it. I never thought that Kiba would go this far to do something so stupid to just win. That jutsu was forbidden by his own mother for the very reason that he couldn't control that form. I will have to stop this match before he kills Hinata's boyfriend in the process. Before the genjutsu-oriented teacher could raise her voice to speak or move towards Kiba, Kakashi placed a hand on her shoulder. Let Naruto handle Kiba, Kurenai-san. What? Naruto is the strongest one on my team. He will not let himself lose to a boy with anger management and jealousy issues. The dust cleared to see Naruto with blood pouring from his head injury, and Kiba growled at him in displeasure. Naruto twirled his retractable staff again and held it behind him. Come on, mutt, time to get your punishment. Kiba charged at the Jinchuriki, who returned it in eager fashion, and they clashed in the middle. Kiba's mouth closed around Naruto's bow staff, both struggling against each other to gain the upper hand. Soon Kiba's beastly strength overpowered Naruto, putting him down to one knee. Naruto thought to himself, fine, I will play ball with the wolf, let's see him handle the fox. Kasumi, let's show him our strength. Kasumi opened her eyes with a smirk. Very well, here you go, Naruto. Initial form engaged. Red chakra exploded from Naruto's body and his eyes turned into a slitted blue. The Hokage was surprised. That chakra, there is no mistaking it, it is the Kyuubi's chakra, but when did he learn to harness it so well? Naruto ripped the bow staff from Kiba's mouth and swung the staff like a bat across the wolf's face with a loud crack, sending him flying. You want serious, Kiba? I will give you serious. Naruto growled out as he put away the retractable staff and moved on all fours toward the wolf, who met his charge. Before the wolf could claw Naruto to death, the Jinchuriki swung his fist and a rush of energy struck Kiba into the hand sign statue, but the werewolf recovered quickly and punched at Naruto, who caught the fist deftly and slammed his own within the wolf's stomach. The wolf coughed up spit as Naruto moved back quickly to jump up and give a roundhouse kick to the muzzle before running after the wolf and slamming his ugly mug into the concrete ground. Time to end this. Tailed beast skill. Demon tornado. Naruto spun in a whirlwind with chakra-enforced wind covering his body and sent a huge red tornado gift wrapped at Kiba, who couldn't escape its pull and was trapped within it as it cut deeply into his body, as well as causing chakra burns from the corrosive chakra. The Jinchuriki watched for a moment as Kiba's howls of pain rang out until he snapped his fingers, ending the technique and causing Kiba's body to come crashing to the ground. The wolf let out a weak growl and his face fell to the side as he reverted back to his human form. Naruto strode to him calmly and checked for a pulse for a few minutes. Good, you are alive. Your body is broken and burned with my chakra as well as cut. You won't be able to move, more or less be a ninja for a few months. I will give you time to reflect on this, Kiba Inuzuka, and next time, I will act and kill you, Konoha ninja or not. Shosha. Naruto Uzumaki. Naruto began to walk off only to look back at Kiba with pity. I hope you will change from this path, Kiba. With that being said, the Jade Maelstrom left the arena to walk up the stairs toward his Hyuga girlfriend, who ran to him and hugged him softly, being careful of his injuries. I was so worried about you. Don't you ever do something like that again. Do you hear me, Naruto? Uzumaki. Hinata said, crying a little on his shoulder. Naruto wrapped his arms around Hinata and his hand grew hot. He knew that his girlfriend was one of the chosen few to wield a Dragoon, spielded it and slipped into her back utility pouch as he replied, I don't know, that seems like a big promise to me. Oh, is it now? Naruto looked into her lavender-tinted eyes. I need something special to always return back to, something to keep me going, keep me fighting. Hinata shivered at the hidden seductive tone in his voice. Well, I am open to suggestions. Shino coughed to catch the couple's attention. Excuse me, but if I may interject, Hinata, it is your turn to fight and I believe that you may want to get serious with this match. Hinata looked at the screen and was a bit shocked at the selection of her opponent. I am fighting Neji Ni-san. This is perfect. Naruto smiled at her confidence while Kurenai became worried for the only girl in her genin team. Go get him, Hina-chan. Show him what you can down. Hinata nodded to Naruto and strode downstairs to face her older cousin in her new path as a kunoichi and a Dragoon wielder. The young Hyuga stared her light lavender eyes against her opponent's own lavender eyes, such eyes filled with hidden resentment and hatred. It has been a while, hasn't it, Neji Ni-san? Hinata spoke in a soft manner and Neji replied, I never did think that I would be fighting you of all people, Lady Hinata. Hinata frowned inwardly, so he still hates the main family's traditions and what it cost him, which means this fight is going to be harder than I thought. Neji spoke up in a loud voice, Lady Hinata, before we begin, I have something to say to you. Go ahead then, I think you are too weak for this shinobi work and I suggest that you should forfeit this match. May I inquire to ask why you would suggest such a thing like that? I have noticed that you are too kind as well as you wish for peace instead of conflict. Hinata replied, but of course, I believe that if we were to talk about our differences, we would soon reach an agreement, but sadly, I do know that some situations need a bit of force to get a point across to someone, but what are you getting at, Neji? The Hyuga replied, did you take this Chunin exam on your own accord? I think not. I think you have been pressured by your teammates to get here. You were protected all of this time because you are the spoiled brat of the main branch. Hinata gritted her teeth. What? Nobody can change themselves. Everything has been decided by fate, from your looks down to your abilities, and your abilities have always been subpar. You won't defeat me in this battle, you understand that, Hinata-sama? Hinata replied, no, I don't understand that, which is why I am going to fight you, to prove you wrong. Her eyes were filled with determination and got into her stance to face her opponent. So you won't back down from the inevitable. How irrational of you, Hinata-sama. Save it, Neji, now come at me. Hinata replied. Neji got into his own stance silently and Naruto thought to himself, please, be careful, Hinata. Even though I think you might be the next wielder of the white-silver Dragoon, there is a chance that it will be in a dormant state until you are in critical danger. Hayate moved his hand in a chopping motion. Begin. Neji sprang at Hinata with amazing speed, but Hinata used her flexibility to bend backwards to avoid his palm thrust completely and moved to complete it into a back bend to use her arms as leverage to send her feet upwards to catch his chin. Neji stumbled back and held his chin, which started to bruise a bit and blood leaked from the corner of his mouth. That bitch made me bleed. The older Hyuga thought angrily as he flicked the blood away from his unbandaged hand. Hinata thought to herself, now I have made him angry, this is going to be a little harder. Neji sprang at her on the attack and Hinata took the defensive, brushing attacks aside from her vital organs and returning fire to disable him. The Uzumaki thought to himself, come on, Hinata, you can do this, I know you can win this match. Hinata ducked under the swipe and thought to herself as she moved to slam her palm into Neji's chest, I got you. Neji grunted as the hit connected, but he smirked as well, and I got you. Hinata-sama. Hinata coughed up blood and Naruto's grip on the railing tightened. Well, it looks like I am going to win this one, Hinata-sama, because as you see, Neji stated as he quickly pressed a point on her arm, I just rendered your gentle fist useless. Hinata gritted her teeth and quickly grabbed his offending arm to perform a sweeping motion with her left leg to trip him on his back. She backed up and thought to herself, there is too much at stake if I forfeit right now and I won't be able to prove anything to him at all. Neji, you have suffered a lot and I want you to understand that you are not alone in this. I want to help ease your suffering, and I will start by making you see that by defeating you here and now. Hinata got back into her stance and Neji replied, You are not going to give up, fine, that I won't be responsible for what happens here today. With that, Neji suddenly appeared inside her guard and slammed his palm into her stomach and straight afterwards, followed up with a palm strike to her chin. Hinata cried out and Neji walked towards her. This is the end, failure. Suddenly at that moment, something began to shine from Hinata's pouch, causing everyone to look at the light, including Neji. Hinata took out the stone and gasped in shock. This is. She looked up to her boyfriend and Naruto replied in a loud voice. Now, wake up. Dragoon of the White Silver Dragon. A white light surrounded by a golden glow engulfed Hinata's body, infusing her with a surge of power. Neji stood there in shock and the white light moved into the air before slamming Neji, knocking him into the ground before it slowly hovers a few feet away to show Hinata in white armor with dragoon wings. She slowly dropped down and looked at herself. I was chosen? With that, her vision blurred and she started to fall to the ground until she was caught by Naruto, who whispered, "It's all right. Hinata, rest. White Silver Dragoon." Hayate looked at the two Hyugas and stated, due to the unconsciousness of both combatants and the interference of another combatant, I deemed this match a draw. The Uzumaki picked her up and carried her over to the railing, laying her to rest against the wall. You did well, love, I just hope it was enough to convince him how much you mean to him. Suddenly a shadow appeared over his shoulder and Naruto glanced over his shoulder. Kurenai-sensei. So, she is one of you now, huh, Naruto? Yeah, the White Silver Dragon wants her as her wielder and I really don't want to have this life at all for her, but she is a kunoichi as well, so danger is in her life already. I know, Naruto, just promise me something, if something ever happens that provides a calling for your group to do what is right, protect her. The crimson-eyed woman said with an underlying worried tone. With my life, Kurenai-sensei, you can count on that. Soon the rest of the matches came and go. The second to last of the matches was a grueling match between Gaara of the Desert and Rock Lee. With Lee's great skill of opening the 8 gates, he was close to beating Gaara, but alas Gaara was able to survive through the blows with his sand armor and disable Lee critically. The last match was won within several minutes between Dosu and Choji. Despite Choji's attempts to win, mostly by given incentive by his own sensei, Dosu easily defeated the Akamichi with minimal effort. With the last match out of the way, the genin were made to stand in front of the Hokage as well as their Jonin senseis and the previous proctors as well. Winners of the preliminary matchups, I congratulate you on using your abilities to come out on top of your opponent, but now we have you all return here within a month's time for the final phase of the Chunin exams. Hiruzen spoke up. What? Why? Why not just get it over with now? Shikamaru stated. Well, considering that all of your potential off of your moves from your matches, not only this will allow you time to hone your old skills and learn new skills to put on a show for our civilians spectators as well as the nobles coming from foreign countries. Anko came up with a box at that moment. Each of you will pull out a strip of paper. The numbers written on it will determine which order you will go into fight. After that, you will be dismissed and start your personal training for the month you have been given. Everyone proceeded to pull out a piece of paper and stated their numbers. Anko nodded as she wrote down the matchup and held it up to the contestants. Here is your matchup. Memorize it well. Everyone looked up at it to see the upcoming matches to be a bit surprised. Match 1. Shikamaru Nara vs Kankuro. Match 2. Shino Aburame vs Dosu Kinuta. Match 3. Sasuke Uchiha vs Gaara. Match 4. Naruto Uzumaki vs Temari. Those are your matchups after your month of training. Good luck. Sarutobi said as he dismissed them from the arena. Naruto immediately left the area to go and visit Hinata in the hospital, who was up and resting against the upright pillow. Hey, Hinata-chan. How are you doing? The Hyuga replied sweetly. I feel fine. In fact, the hospital said that I could be released in a matter of a few hours. Naruto chuckled gently. That is because of one thing only. He tapped the white stone that was sealed into her forearm. The White Silver Dragoon uses light magic and primarily focuses on healing magic, although it works wonders against dark magic. So it wasn't a dream, I was chosen just like you were. Yes, and I fear the closer we find our brothers and sisters in arms, then there is a greater evil coming. Hinata touched his hand. Whatever it is, I am sure that we can stop it together. The Kyuubi Jinchuriki smiled softly. Right. Well, I better go. Hinata. He kissed her forehead. I have a lot of work to do. My opponent is pretty strong. Hinata nodded. I know, Naruto-kun, just make sure you be careful in your training. Suddenly the door opened to reveal a feral woman with Inuzuka fang marks as well as a younger woman with softer features along with a wolf-dog hybrid along with 3 dogs that looked the same. Naruto tensed up, may I help you too? My name is Sume Inuzuka and my dog companion, Kuromaru. Beside me is my daughter Hana along with her Haimaru triplets, and we are Kiba's immediate family. I see, what business do you have with me, Sume Dono? I would like to extend my sincerest apologies to you, Uzumaki-san, Hyuga-san. My son's jealousy and brashness could have cost you both pain and suffering during that fight in the preliminaries. Not to mention the boy used a forbidden technique that he had no control over at all. We are still investigating how the hell he managed to learn that technique, Sume stated sincerely. The Uzumaki nodded, and I am guessing that you came over here to make sure that I don't seek any repercussions and seek a blood war against my clan and yours with the Hyuga clan backing me since they are very unhappy with Kiba's actions, am I correct? Hana nodded, that is correct, Naruto-kun. What my brother did was foolish and idiotic. If you seek any retribution, I will offer myself as payment as your wife while Kiba is stripped off his bid to become clan head of the Inuzuka clan. The Jinchuriki held up his hand, that won't be necessary, Hana-san, Sume-san. There is one person that I want to marry here, although you are very beautiful, I don't want a marriage due to one person's ignorance. Hinata spoke up calmly, however, there is one thing that I would like from you, Inuzuka-sama. Yes, Hinata-chan. What is it? I request a fight between myself and Kiba Inuzuka to finally put this behind us. If I win, he will have to swear that he will never pursue me ever again or else he forfeits his candidacy to succeed you as clan head, and if I lose, I will agree that I will marry him and become his bitch in front of Naruto. Naruto's eyes widened. Hinata-chan. Hinata turned to the Kyuubi Jinchuriki, staring into her cerulean eyes. Please, Naruto. We both know that I need to do this and I know that I can do this. With my own power. The Uzumaki closed his eyes and nodded. I know you can, but there is a part of me that is afraid that you might lose, but I will put myself behind you fully and unconditionally. The young female Hyuga smiled softly. Thank you for understanding. I believe that this is the only way for me to get through to Kiba. Sume nodded silently. That could work to listen, and sometimes it takes a few whacks to the head to get through someone. I will arrange the match at one of our training grounds and we can discuss the stipulations. All right, Inuzuka-sama, we shall see each other again soon. With that, the 2 Inuzuka clan members took their leave along with Naruto, who went to the Hokage. Hiruzen looked up from his paperwork. Naruto, what can I do for you? The Jinchuriki replied calmly. Well, I would like to know of any wind users that I could seek training from. Unfortunately, wind users in Konoha are very rare. I know of one that has mastered wind nature chakra and that is my son, Asuma. But he is preoccupied in training Shikamaru along with his father. I see, that is unfortunate, but thank you for the information. I think I will ask him for help later on in the future. Tell you what, you have been working very hard. How about you go to the hot springs and relax for a bit before you train yourself in the ground? Who knows, perhaps you might meet someone there. I highly doubt it, but I do think you are right about the relaxing part. With that, the Jade Dragoon left the office and went to the hot springs where he moved to relaxing within the hot water. He sighed in relief and closed his eyes as his body slowly sank within it. It was as if all his troubles and worries went away until his mood was pierced by a short giggle. Naruto opened his eyes just a crack before closing them once more, but he heard the giggle again once more, and this time, he looked around to see a white-haired man who looked to be about in his 50s or so near the wall with his face pressed against it. Slowly, the Jinchuriki realized that the wall he was looking at happened to be connected directly to the women's side on the onsen. Excuse me, sir, but that is the women's side of the onsen, the boy replied softly. Buzz off, kid, I am busy, I am doing very important research, you wouldn't understand. Naruto sighed in exasperation. It is always the same with every pervert. All right, have it your way. With that, he took out his collapsible bowstaff and without warning, the Jinchuriki knocked him in the back of the old man's head, sending him crashing through the wall. OWWW, the man groaned and his eyes opened to see ladies just staring at him. Wow, hello, ladies, nice delectable bodies you have. Now I need you to do a few poses and... Hentai. The ladies screamed in unison and began to hit his face with thrown objects while Naruto made his way out of the onsen. A few minutes later, as Naruto walked out, dressed, he was suddenly grabbed by the shoulder, causing the young dragoon to react accordingly by taking the hand and flipping it over his shoulder. The assailant flipped in the air and landed on his feet. "Oh, it's you," Naruto stated in an amused tone as the man's face was covered with welts, bruises and a few splinters. Do you have any idea what you have done?" "Well, I pretty much stopped a pervert from peeking at innocent women and let them have their way with his face in righteous retribution." "Is that the answer you were looking for, you perverted old man?" the genin answered cheekily. "You ruined my research, you half-pint. I did what I had to save the common decency of those women and the honor of the 1% that make up the gentleman population. What kind of man openly pervs on women?" "That would be me, Jiraiya, the man who can make babies stop crying with my handsome face," the toad sage and a super pervert the declaration as he thought. "I can't see how the hell anyone can be proud to be a pervert." The Jinchuriki just stared at him for a brief moment before stating, "Okay, on that note, I am leaving before I get something from you." The Kyuubi Jinchuriki left the area until Jiraiya's next words stopped him. "Hey, Naruto, can I see your seal for a moment?" Naruto looked over to see that the old man's face was serious and calm, causing the Jinchuriki to get serious as well. "Why?" "Seeing as I am the best Fuinjutsu master after my deceased student, I am the best option to check on your seal." "I see, I would tell you that there is no need, but you wouldn't take that answer at all." With little hesitation, he raised his shirt and focused his chakra to make the seal appear. Jiraiya muttered, "My god, Minato, no matter how many times I see this seal, I find myself very impressed." An 8 trigrams seal to surround the Shiki Fujin to allow the chakra of the 9 tails to focus through much easier. Everything looks like it is in order. Jiraiya allowed Naruto to drop his shirt and questioned, "What did you mean there was no need to check the seal?" "The fact that I made contact several times with the Kyuubi no Kitsune on different occasions." "That is dangerous, Naruto, you shouldn't play with the seal like that." "Relax, I didn't really do anything but talk to the fox to find out what caused her to attack Konoha." "It has a gender, it's a she." "Yes, the Biju are not only beings of chakra, but they are also sentient beings as well and they have names as well. Mine has happened to be Kasumi." Jiraiya was shocked. "Did she tell you the reason why she attacked Konoha?" "Yes, it was a bit hazy at first for her, but she distinctly remembered being outside and then she looked into an eye of an Uchiha. An Uchiha should have been dead a long time ago. The person that subjugated and caused her to attack the village, was Uchiha Madara." "Impossible, the man was recorded dead." "Jiraiya-san, need I remind you that we are ninja and built on deception as the best tool besides information? Madara could have easily did something to him to help him survive a fatal blow and went into hiding, but that doesn't explain how he lived through 3 generations without us noticing and why until on that day he would attack. It doesn't make any sense." Jiraiya nodded in agreement. Maybe he was very weak and out of his prime, so he was slowly building back up to strength and possibly he had meant to make himself the Kyuubi Jinchuriki, although he could have just taken the Kasumi and left, so it leaves a lot of questions and not enough answers, unless what? Jiraiya was silent and thought to himself, should I tell him? No, he has enough on his mind at the moment. I think it would be better to explain the intentions of that group later when the exams are over. "It's nothing. Come, we better get to training you." "Training me? Don't tell me, the old man sent you to train me?" Jiraiya turned back to him. "Sensei believes that great things will be coming from your generation, mostly you, Naruto, so I am going to train you to be the best that you can be." Naruto was shocked for a moment and clenched his fist as he looked back up at him with a smile. "Right, let's go." The end. Thanks for watching.